Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be talking boxing talk, boxing's latest current events going on. Unfortunately, this will be a quick live tonight. I know we're supposed to have the woman panel. That's still going. All the women want to click the link. I'm gonna drop it early in the chat for the women only. Everybody else can call in, even if you're a woman and you just want to call into the show to get your 2 cents off. We're gonna have a quick show today. Had a very challenging day. Um, what's been up, everybody? What's been going on? Boxing is hot right now. A lot of topics, a lot of things I want to discuss. Current events that's going on, but right now just the real quick before everybody start pulling up in here, and I'm only probably gonna be on here an hour, so I'm just letting y'all know. This T.O. Boots thing, like, it's really a demand for this fight. I mean, if they make the fight, they make the fight. Cool. I'm not gonna cry about how I don't want to see it. But I just think, I don't know. I think T.O. too small for Boots in this. What y'all think? I don't know I don't know how people see that fight going. I'm trying to like picture it in my head. And I don't know. I don't know how I see that fight going. I just don't see what T.O. will be able to do to overcome Boots' power, speed, and athleticism. What y'all think? Let me know and drop it below in the chat. I don't know if I'm sure what he gonna do. Um, I don't know. So let's see. T.O. and Boots. And then we got T.O. and Keyshawn. I mean, T.O. done made itself a hot commodity to get beat up. There's a lot of people that want to beat up T.O. Fimo Lopez right now. I wasn't gonna talk about what the WBO said and all that, but I'm not gonna be on here that long today, so I'm not even trying to get into all of that. Um, Rematch finally announced for Javante Tank Davis. A lot of people excited about that. That the rematch is announced. But even though the rematch is announced, they still talking about him fighting Jake Paul because Jake Paul came out trolling. I think he was trolling. Did y'all see him smiling in the interview? It's like he was laughing, talking about him and they in talks to fight. And I just don't believe that. I do not think that Tank Davis is fighting Jake Paul. But humor me, right? Just real quick. Just humor me, right? Real quick. This is what I was thinking earlier. Let's say Tank fights Lamont Roach in August or whatever month he's supposed to fight him in, right? And then let's say hypothetically he fights Jake Paul in November. Now we've already agreed that Javante Tank Davis and Jake Paul are like 100 pounds apart, and that they are completely different weight classes. It just doesn't even make sense for them to fight, period. But if they were to fight, it would be like an entertainment fight, like some crazy stupid stuff like Oscar De La Hoya versus Shaquille O'Neal. Just a little exhibition run around fight. Now, he only fights two times a year anyway. So it's not like if he fights a third time and it's Jake Paul, he wasn't gonna fight a real fight that quickly on a turnaround anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let me just do this little BS exhibition fight and then go on about my career. That's why I don't understand like the uproar like that. That's all I'm saying is I don't understand the uproar like that. And so, Ty, the link in the chat. Let me pin it to the chat. But I really don't, nobody trying to see a Jake Paul. But you know what I thought about with the Jake Paul thing? Canelo probably should have fought Jake Paul. I think if Canelo would have fought Jake Paul, the Terrence Crawford fight would have been bigger. Oh, let me open up my Google thing. All right, here we go. Phone lines is open. Shout out Jab Queen Boxing in the building. What's up, Jab Queen Boxing?
Hello? Can
What
you
up,
hear
Jab
me?
Queen Boxing? Yep, yep.
What's up? What's going on?
What's up? What's up? Let me pin this to the top of the chat.
Okay.
All right. So I was just talking about the Jake Paul thing and the T.O. Jerron Boots in his fight. Do you see it's a demand for this fight? What do you think about that?
I think it's a demand for it because the black delegation, of course, are just itching for somebody to whip T.O.'s head. So at this particular point in time, I don't think that we care who does it as long as it gets done. But
Oh.
if T.O. accepts this fight, which I'm not sure he will, then I'm all for it after Brian Norman Jr.
You want Boots to fight Brian Norman Jr. and then T.O., but they talking about, like making it soon. I don't know. It's
Oh yeah,
like,
I did hear Turkey's nonsense. Listen, I need somebody to whoop to your ass. Who I really don't care. As long as his head is on the chopping block.
yeah, yeah.
You don't like that fight?
Brevin just called out T.O. on Twitter, says Poe pondered NW. Um, T.O. and Boots. I think T.O.'s too small. I just think T.O.'s too small for Boots. And I just wonder what T.O. can do to overcome Boots' athleticism. Like, what would he do to overcome that? He's bigger and more athletic.
Hmm. Oh man, a slaughter. Love it. Um, I mean, if we're being honest, I don't really know what Turkey has up his sleeves, and we see how he handles fights when working them out business wise, logistically. So who knows? He throws things against the wall and hopes it sticks. So just like with the Canelo thing and Zepeda Mexican. Who the hell knows what he has going on? And I'm pretty sure this July 12th card may change again before the date approaches. So who really knows? But my personal vote, I'm here for it. Whatever gets T.O.'s ass whooped, I'm here for it.
Yeah. What you think about Shakur Zepeda press conference? Did you watch it?
It was, yeah, I actually did a piece on it. I was more entertained by Berlanga, and I think that's mostly because Zepeda, he needed a translator, so it kind of took some of the luster away from it for me. But Zepeda, I mean, maybe he just couldn't understand what the hell Shakur was saying, but he didn't seem worried at all. So we're gonna check it out. And then Clarissa Shields put her 2 cents in it. Obviously, she's going for Shakur, and she's going to help him spar and get ready, and so on and so forth. Shakur said he's going to stand in the pocket and fight. So, I mean, we'll see if he stands on his word, which will be the first time in history. So, how do you see that fight going?
Shakur Zepeda? I don't really know. That's why I want to see it. I just want to see how Shakur overcomes the pressure and the volume of punches. Like, it's how is he going to get off his offense? That's what I'm curious to see.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious to see that as well. How he's going to keep Zepeda off of him.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fight. Like it's a highly anticipated fight. It's a good fight. People feel like this is a reputable opponent. Well, I hear people saying, "Oh, he gonna wash him. He gonna wash him," but I'm like, I will see if he wash him. He wash him. But as of right now, like people feel like this is a reputable opponent. So it's not like after you beat him, people gonna be like, "Oh, Zepeda was this and that." No, no, I don't want to hear nobody saying Zepeda was this and that after Shakur beat him, because the sentiment for the most part is that Zepeda is a reputable competitive opponent. And Zepeda's big too.
Well, they look about the same to me, but it's interesting that you said that because pretty much I've been hearing the echo chamber about what you just said. This will be actually Shakur's first real test, which I find interesting since the boy is 27 years old. So I find that extremely interesting that pretty much wherever I go or what I've heard is people saying like, yeah, this is going to be his first real test. Even Clarissa Shields said that, like, this is basically, I guess, his breakout party. We're going to see what he's really made of in this particular fight.
Yeah. I mean, the Shakur was great at 130. At 135, I just haven't seen him with the offense. Like that's what he's missing at this division. And I know he's not too small for 35. He's not no small guy or nothing. So I don't know. We gonna have to see how he's able to get off his offense. I
Well,
don't know if he's gonna be able to punch in between Zepeda punches.
and during that press conference, the announcers were saying that basically, like, Shakur is a small 135 pounder, but I seen him next to Zepeda, and he didn't look that small to me. Um, so we're gonna see. I mean, we let's be honest. We know that a lot of these guys like to keep themselves at a certain weight class to have a specific advantage, or at least to be able to compete. Because moving up to higher weight classes, they may not be a household name, or if they think they're a household name, or they may not be able to compete at the elite level. So I think that that's possibly what Shakur is going through. And I don't know if you plan on covering Devin, so I'll keep my commentary about him until then, if we get there.
Right, right. Oh, shout out Ashley's Corner in the building. What up, Ashley's
What's
Corner?
up, Ashley?
What's good? Salute to y'all, ladies. I
What up? What
appreciate
up?
the invite, to
Happy
Sin.
Friday.
No problem, no problem. Happy Friday. We won't be on here long tonight, Ashley. We just up here discussing the Shakurs. First of all, let me ask you, what do you think about the Boots and Tio fight? Like, I've been looking around and seeing people talk about it, and I can't believe like it's like a little buzz. It's a demand for this fight.
Um, I think Tio need his ass whooped like everybody else, but honestly, I think Tio believes that because a lot of people say it. I think Tio believes that he knows that he fights down to his competition, and he always looks like shit. He knows he can't sell. He knows he needs a better fan base. So he's trying to grasp at straws by being a race baiter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think he's calling out the biggest, baddest name because he wants to see how good he is. But I think he knows deep down inside that he can't beat, but the likes of Boots and a Bud. But in order for him to try to get buzz, he's trying any and everything. It seems like the man dressed like a different character every time I see him. Like he looks like a different person, but just in the same body.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, like
Mm-hmm.
say, he looked like he got it's like five of them. That's what I keep saying. He looked like he got five other TOs, and all of them look like him, and all of them get interviews and talk their mind. Like that's it. Just
Yeah.
Yep.
seems like it's a bunch
Yep.
of them. Like So I mean,
What's that?
Tio.
What's that villain on the Marvel movie that got all them personalities? Was that Unbreakable? What movie was
Got
that?
a
But
bunch of
anyway,
personalities.
I don't know, but
yeah.
T looked like Hannibal Lecter in that last damn silver mask he
But
had
we
on.
all
I
know
was
Tio
confused
not
as
mentally
hell.
stable. He's clearly not mentally stable
Yeah.
at all. But
Yeah,
so
but
you think he's just
we're not
calling
giving that
out
an
Boots for
excuse though,
attention?
Toussaint.
Oh
Why
no,
does
I'm
he
not
do
giving an
anything?
excuse. I'm just saying
Why does T.O. do
he
anything?
off.
He does it all
That's
for
true.
attention. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that I got even more infuriated with him and his fan base because I actually clicked onto that live when he went up there to try and lie and say he said where the liquor at. if you had seen the amount of Spanish people that were in support of his nonsense, I got so damn mad. I just clicked off of it because I just couldn't take it anymore. Like, this is
Just
what they really
encouraging the
think, and this is
ignorance.
how they really feel. And honestly, I don't know if Tio is really a racist or if he's jealous, because y'all do know it was a black man that his wife left him for, right?
Right. Right.
I don't know if
But
he's jealous or if he really is racist. Either way, I'm sick of his shit. I'm with Ashley. I just want anybody to whoop his ass. I don't give a damn who it is.
I think a lot of people
Devin
that's
Haney just called
racist,
him out.
a lot of people that's
Devin
racist
can't do it.
stem from jealousy. So because if that is 100%
Mhm.
true, and I think that is the going, like what's going around, that
Mhm.
she got piped down by
A football player. She left him for a football player, a black football player. I forget his
yeah.
name, but
So I
yeah.
mean that's so even and his father, in my opinion, all like a lot of kids. If you raised by somebody that's racist, you're not even gonna know that you're racist, or saying, well, not know that you're racist, but you're not gonna know that you're saying racist statements if you hear them all the time. Tio's father admitted that he only says the N word. It only comes out when he's mad, and he only said it to people of color. So that's the definition of being racist.
But that's
If
not
his
true.
father's that ignorant, then his son's that ignorant. Like, in my
But
opinion, but both of them is racist. They just acting like they're not
mhm.
racist.
But that's not true that he only says when he's mad, because when he was punching bag after your fight, what are you mad about? You just want to fight. You just want another title. So what are
No,
you really upset about?
his father said that, not Tio. His father said that.
Oh,
His father said that when he was on, I think, Punch Drunk. Like, that's what's going around. Like,
and
it's a
Punch
big
Drunk is
shit.
racist.
Yeah, so
Nah, they
he
say
said
that
it
all the
on the
time.
show. He was like, it only comes out when I'm mad. Like, Tio Senior was like, it only comes out when I'm mad, and he only said it to people of color. So, I mean, if
Let
that's
me
how
tell you
you
something. He
think,
is a
then your son
lying
gonna think the
cokehead.
same way.
Yeah.
He
Let's not give
well, I'm gonna put it politically. He give his a nose a party. So
Yeah.
yeah,
you
let's
know.
not give T.O. too much shine. Shout out to Big Dog Willie with the $2 in the super chat. Says Jake Paul versus Tank, November
Oh
22nd,
my
Las
God.
Vegas.
I
Fact.
swear to God, Big Dog Willie,
I
shut
swear
up.
Tank should just make the Jake Paul fight because it's clearly a demand. Y'all talk about it every day. Golly, y'all must want to see the fight. Y'all
I mean,
talk
Big
about
Dog
it
Willie,
every day.
you you think you'll
But
be happy we talking about Shakur's upcoming fight, but you steady talking about Tank. Tell me Tank your favorite fighter without telling me Tank your favorite fighter.
but that was my next question for you, Ashley. Like we were in the conversation about Shakur and Zepeda. And I was saying that this is a good fight for Shakur. The sentiment around the boxing world is that this is a formidable opponent, and people are interested to see how Shakur style can overcome a pressure, high volume puncher that can cut off the ring. And I'm just curious, like, how do you see Shakur being able to overcome that style to be able to pull off the win for the fight?
Um, I think he's kind of lucky that he got to see Tevin Farmer fight him first, twice. So he has a little bit of a blueprint, and I think Shakur actually can pull it off. But to be honest, when it comes to all the stuff that's happening around this fight and the things that he said, the things that he did, a lot of people think he's gonna get screwed over in the decision, and I think that's very possible if he don't stand there and fight him the way Tevin was trying to, and when he fought him. If that don't happen, it's a very big chance that he might lose this fight in a decision without a knockdown or anything else. I don't think um Zepeda's going to make the same mistake twice with two different fighters. It doesn't even, I don't think he's going to get dropped by no damn Shakur. It's like he got dropped by Tevin Farmer. I just don't see that happening. And I understand what Tevin Farmer only knocked out a handful of folks his whole career, but he came back with a different type of power, and
Yeah, he did.
immediately said that y'all gonna think that I'm on steroids. So I mean, I just don't think that Shakur has that type of pop. So, and for real, I think Tevin Farmer is more ballsy in the ring than Shakur,
I was just
and I
about to
think
say.
Tevin Farmer utilizes different defenses than Shakur does. Shakur does the same thing
Oh,
over and over again.
Wait, explain
I
that. What
was
do you mean utilizing different hold on, let me what utilizing different defenses? What you mean by that? I never thought about that.
Shakur Stevenson usually he does the same defensive movements.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
he do.
he
The jump
he-
back, step around.
right. Tell what's his name? Farmer compares
Zapata.
his Farmer compares his defense to Floyd Mayweather. He said once on when he was FaceTime and Ellie said back that his defense is better than Floyd's. The fact of the matter is, it's not true, but I don't agree with that. But the fact of the matter is, he believes in himself like that to sit in the pocket, to duck under shots and return fire. Shakur don't do that. So the things that Farmer was doing in the fight to make it look like he wasn't scared of Zepeda, to make it look like the power wasn't doing nothing and he was still in the fight. I don't know if Shakur can actually do that.
And that was actually going to be my point too, Ashley. So I'm glad you brought that up because I know we were talking about like skill set. And then I don't know if you watched the whole coverage, but Zepeda kept making it a point to say, well, his team, because he don't speak English, kept making it a point to say, stand and fight, stand and fight. I think deep down inside, they know Shakur doesn't like to get hit. And I think that they also know Shakur don't have the balls to do nothing like that. Like I've said it before and I'll say it again. Shakur is only a dog when he's not facing one. If you got a little pop behind them punches or he think you might could get with him in any way, he is on his bike and it is track meet time.
You know how like you could see a fight and you see like Shakur Zapata, right? And I'm like, damn, like I just don't unless Shakur is punching in between his shots, like, I don't see how he could pull it off. But I feel like, am I
Yes.
missing something? Like, am I
Yeah.
missing something?
No, because
No.
the problem is Shakur don't have enough offense. Everybody always talk about his defense. His defense ain't the real issue here. His offense
right.
is the problem. When I went to his fights, I was saying that to myself, like, when is he gonna start throwing? Like, in my opinion, I didn't think Shakur was boring as far as his fighting style. I thought he took the excitement out of the fight. He took the excitement away from the fans. I'm not mad that you're not getting hit, sir. I'm mad that you ain't hit nobody and not getting hit. Can somebody get hit? Can you hit somebody? Come on.
Right.
Like, let me get some type of entertainment out of the money that I spent. Like, he'll keep his hands in his pocket and not get hit for 3 straight rounds. Like, bro, I don't want to see that. Throw something. Like,
Shout out.
He jumps too far out of range.
Let me get the super chat. Shout out to a Kilo Neater with the $5 in the super chat for putting my 3 favorite ladies in boxing talk together. Shout out to Kello.
But Ashley, do you agree with that? Like, he jumps too far out of range to even counter?
I'm sorry, say it again. I didn't
What
hear.
you say, Jab?
No, I say he jumps too far out of range sometimes to even counter.
That's why he can't. That's why it's like hit, don't get hit, don't get hit, don't get hit, don't get hit, hit, don't get hit, don't get hit. And then he's not gonna be able to outpoint Zapata like that. Because my only thing is like if Zapata get in the ring and try to box him, he for sure gonna be in trouble. He for sure gonna be in trouble. He has to come in with the pressure and the volume of punches.
So y'all think the fix is in?
I don't know about a fix. This is just what I see. Like logically, when I think about the fight, this is just what I see. Shout out Big Dog Willie with the $5 in the super chat. Tankomaniacs critiquing Shakur is like the KKK talking good about black people. Complete utter nonsense. But hey, Tankomaniacs and Tankomaniacs, same old. Shout out Big Dog Willie with the $5 worth of cap.
What's up? What's up, Big Dog Willie?
Definitely cap.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Is like.
But wait, so y'all didn't say that when I said that. Y'all don't agree? He jumped too far out of range, or is it just me?
No, he's always out of range. That's the issue.
Yeah. He does that in the first round or 2 for sure. But it's sometimes like I seen him a couple of rounds like just sit there, absorb something, just roll punches and barely get
He was
hit
kind of
and
in the
stuff.
pocket with
He
Arnold,
just don't
kind of.
throw no punches. Like I don't understand why he don't pick up the offense faster
So you
than
think
he
he
do.
lazy? Because I don't think he wants to get hit.
No,
That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes to throw a punch, you got to take one, and I don't think he wants to take any.
that's what it is. It's not about being lazy. He ain't lazy. He wants to go home with the least amount of punches or damage as possible. He admitted to that.
Yeah. Jupe says he does do that sometimes, and it causes a break in the action because he's so far away. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, Zapata, I always felt like a high pressure a fighter. I feel like this is the style Zapata have. If he's able to execute it correctly, I feel like that's the style that'll beat Shakur.
Yeah.
That style would be Shakur. It's like the complete opposite, damn near like his kryptonite to his style. Because where are you gonna run to when you constantly being walked down in the ring is being cut off? I don't think I've ever seen anybody fight him like that, especially not at 35.
That is a fact. When he was moving up, this is the guy that I wanted him to fight. I wanted him to fight Cepeda because, in my opinion, this is either going to be a highlight reel for you or you're going to look bad. I don't think there's any in between. It's either Shakur going to look bad or it's going to look good. There's no in between in this fight. Either you're going to look real
There's no
bad or
close fight.
lose.
Yeah.
That's really just how I see it. It's either you gonna weather the storm and it's gonna be a highlight reel for you, and you're gonna show us really that you're that guy that you really gonna put up or shut up in this fight. That's really how I see it. It's because I don't think a lot of times Shakur like fighting, like getting respect out of his opponents before he fight them. In my opinion, it's in some type of way. It's like he want them to fear him in some type of
Oh,
way
is that the
Yeah,
talking?
he
Is
want
that
to
all the
punk them.
talking?
He likes to
Yeah,
punk
yeah.
them.
It's no, he's not punking Zepeda. Zepeda
And
ain't
half of
scared
that
of
is due to the fact that he can't speak English, so he don't know what the hell Shakur's saying any
exactly.
goddamn way.
Damn, that's crazy. I really can't wait to see the fight. Like, I'm really looking forward to this Shakur fight. And I can't say the last fight, maybe the Valdez fight with Shakur. Um, I'm trying to think of what's the last fight like you really look forward to see Shakur in.
Edward De Los Santos, and it was a huge
Oh,
disappointment.
the De Los Santos fight. Yeah, I felt the same way about the De Los Santos fight. Like, we finally about to see him against this type of style. Like, people hate on Shakur. We want to see Shakur lose and nothing like that. I want to see him with his great defense and his great style and his sweet science overcome difficult styles. That's it. That's it.
I want to see how he take getting punched in the face. That's what I want to see. I want to see if he got some dog in him, because he talk like he do, but I'm yet to see it. So I definitely am anticipating this fight. Like you said, it's going to be a highlight reel either way. You know what I'm saying? Either on his behalf or Zepeda's. But this is going to be the fight where, as Ashley said, you're going to have to put up or shut up. So we're gonna see. He said he's gonna stand in the pocket and fight. So we're gonna see if that's what he
He
really
said
brings
that
to the table.
That's not
Yeah, he said
really
it
what
at
are
the
you
press
talking
conference.
about?
He said,
hogwash, fiddle faddle.
"Yeah, a bunch of
Bullshit.
shit, a bunch of bullshit." Yeah, basically. Yep, but he did at the table. He said, everybody keep on saying that. He was like, "But I am." He said he's been training his ass off. He's gonna get in there and fight, because I told you they kept making reference to that. So I was like, okay, they really plan on going in there and seeing what he made of. I just hope that he don't fold under pressure.
I always said that Shakur speaks not English but Caplish, straight Caplish for real. And now you're talking about fighting Conor Ben. Man, sit down, son. I just don't think he'll fight anybody at that certain type of weight,
He
because then
he
they'll
he
have to.
did backtrack Connor being at that 54. I seen he was like, I was kind of tripping, man. I'll fight him at 47, but not 54. Oh, we got a caller
But
on the
see,
line.
you
Shout
see,
out
Toussaint, you
caller.
said he
What's
was
your
too
name?
small for 135. Oh,
Adrian, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
can y'all hear? Because I can't.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me pause you. Hold on. All right, can y'all hear Adrian now?
Tell
Can
him
y'all
to
hear
No.
say
him say
something
something,
because I
Adrian?
don't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, I hear him.
Okay,
Okay,
go ahead,
I
Adrian.
can
My
hear him
bad.
now.
Start over. They can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, you ladies, if everything you're saying just makes total sense, and I can tell you definitely know boxing. As far as Shakur goes, I personally don't like the guy. He talks a lot of crap, but he doesn't back it up in the ring. He just runs around, and he's a boring fighter to me. Um, like you ladies say, in order for me to be an exciting fighter, you got to be willing to to get into the flame and get a little dirty sometimes. Take a hit. Shakur does not want to take a hit, man. He does not want to take a hit. So I think everybody glazes him up as if he's this and that. Personally, he's nothing compared to Boots. Boots has got it all. Boots is just to me, Boots is just the most God gifted boxer out there today, maybe in the last 20 years to me, straight up. So, as far as Shakur goes, he's going to fight Zepeda. I think that he's probably going to beat him just because of what Shakur did to Valdez when he fought him. Valdez couldn't reach him, and Shakur was just running away from him and kind of just tagging him up here and there. It's kind of embarrassing that fight. It kind of made Mexicanos look bad. But it's all good. But as far as Shakur goes, I just don't like his style, man. He's not willing to mix it up, and unless he thinks that if he thinks that you're a threat, he won't mix it up with you at all, man. So I don't know.
Right. And it Valdez was a great performance by Shakur, actually. But I think Valdez
Yeah,
was smaller than Shakur, right?
yes, he was a lot smaller than Shakur. Valdez was falling down in the
Valdez
dirt.
was scared of him, wasn't he?
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's why he
Mm-hmm.
didn't
I mean,
fight
that
him
was
at
one of Shakur's probably
126.
best performances. But like I said, but he had a big size advantage on him. And hey, I mean, you still got to give him his props, for beating him. But Shakur, man, he talks a lot of crap, but when he get in the ring, he doesn't do it. Like I said, he's nothing like Boots. I mean, people got to give Boots more credit for what he does. I mean, damn, now that guy's a real deal. And as far as you know, talking the talk and backing it up, you got Benavidez is out there doing that. But Shakur, man, I don't know about this guy, man. I don't know. I just don't like the guy. I don't like that he talks a lot, but he doesn't do it in the ring. Easy as that. But I'll leave you ladies at that because everything you're saying just makes a lot of sense. And God bless you all. Appreciate the
Thank
time on the
you.
line. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Adrian, for calling in. Appreciate you for giving your 2 cents to call into the show. Let me address something real quick because this ain't fair. This is not fair. Big Dog Willie, my show is not an echo chamber. I'm not about to let you do that. I have all different types of people in here with all different types of opinions. And do you know why? Because I go to all different types of channels with people of all different types of opinions. And I meet people there. And then they come on my live streams. People that absolutely don't agree with me about anything are in this chat and be on this panel, and you know that. So don't do my platform like that, Big Dog Willie. Don't do that. But that's what I'm saying. That's all we saying about the Shakur fight. It's a big topic. A lot of people talking about it. And the only thing I keep hearing is Shakur gonna wash him. But I'm like, how can you describe how you think Shakur Stevenson is gonna be able to overcome Zepeda's style? And it can't
Okay.
be he not gonna hit him. Let me get these 2 super chats real quick. Shout out Mr. Greg with the $5 on the super chat. He says, "Good evening, ladies. It's tonight, ladies' night with 2 cents boxing. I am here for it." Shout out, Mr. Greg. Yes, tonight is ladies' night with 2 cents boxing. Why you mad, Toya? Shout out Opulent LDTV with the $9.99 in the super chat. He says, "Blessings to the all ladies panel." Shout out Opulent LDTV. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to Jab Queen Boxing and Ashley's Corner if you haven't subbed up already. We are talking about William Zepeda, Shakur Stevenson and Zepeda fight coming up. And now we're speaking of what are the keys to success for Shakur Stevenson. We can start with
I
you,
was just
Jab Queen. We hear you
I
typing.
was just
You typing hard.
I was responding to the chat. I was just about to say, let's switch gears a little bit because I don't want Big Dog Willie to think that this is like a hate channel or, tonight is a specialized hate serum on Shakur. It's just he has a fight coming up, so I thought he'd be happy we were talking about him so he wouldn't have to talk about Jake Paul and Tank anymore, but I guess not. Path to success for Shakur in the Zepeda fight? Is that what the question was?
Hold on. We got a caller on the line.
Another
Hold
one?
on. Yeah, we got a caller on the line. Let me get my thing up. Shout out Band Up in the building. What up, Band A? What's up, bro?
How you been? What's good with you, Nickel Slick?
We good. Can y'all hear Band Up?
Yes.
All right, Band Up. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
It's been a minute. I'm still catching up on all of this boxing news that I have missed in the last month. But I did get to see Inoue get dropped and then come back and win. I did get to see that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a month. You ain't missed too much. Same conversation, same thing. You know how it go. What else you got for the show?
I'm just joining in just now. I just wanted to call you and tell you I've been back because I've been missing my 2 cents boxing the most out of any platform. Little did I know.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got your message. I'm glad you straight. I'm glad you cool. Glad you getting everything together. You got anything else for the show?
No, I'm gonna stay in the background and I'm gonna tap in. And I'm gonna drop a super chat on you.
All right, thanks for hitting me up. Let me know you all good. Appreciate it.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Keys to success. What you got? What you were saying?
I was asking if that was the
Jab Queen?
question. I said I was asking if that was the question, the keys to success. I mean, if I was Shakur, I would. I know I just said he run all the time, but I would try and use lateral movement. I would definitely try to make it a boxing match. He doesn't want to turn it into a slugfest, because that could go wrong for him. But if he stays calm and just boxes Zepeda and uses his footwork, he may be okay. But I don't know how that's going to happen, especially if Zepeda, cuts off the ring and corners him, because if he corners him, I don't think Shakur has enough pop behind that punch to get Zepeda up off of him. So, I mean, like I said, if he just strictly makes it a boxing match, he has a chance.
Okay. What you got, Ashley's Corner? Oh, let me get this real quick. Shout out to Andre Pitts with the hold on. $5 in the Cash App. He says Ty need to put her Cash App on her videos. Shout out Andre Pitts. Ladies, y'all could put y'all Cash Apps in y'all name or however y'all want to do something like that. But what you got, Ashley's Corner?
It's keys to victory for Shakur, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Run.
To stop to stop somebody that's coming forward and throwing a lot of punches, you really have to give them something to think about. You gotta hit them hard or hit them where it counts. The thing is about Shakur, him having the messed up hands and not really having that much pop, he will really have to use the best footwork we've ever seen him do. Kind of like on a Lomachenko style, to be in and out and box circles around somebody that's continuously punching throughout the fight, every single round in and round out. Like, so he would really have to, I'm not saying he got to be on his bike and run, but he got to do some lateral movement and continue to throw punches as well. He got to when he throws punches, he got to find a way to duck them, block them, get on the side of Zepeda and throw some punches to the side of that man's temple while he still think he's forward. He's punching to the straight. He got to do some magical shit, like he really do. He got to be some twinkle toe type fighter in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't sit here and be like, well, Zepeda throws this, and when he throws this, he got to throw this, and that'll stop him from doing it. You can't even do that with Zepeda. He's not that calculated. He's not going to sit there and calmly throw a jab or calmly throw a straight or a combination. It's constant punches upstairs and downstairs the entire fight. So I mean, his key to victory is being like Lomachenko. His key to victory is being a different motherfucking fighter.
Wow.
His victory is having somebody else's style that I've never seen him use.
Man, this gonna be interesting.
What did
It's
I
gonna be
mean?
real
Seriously,
interesting.
have you seen him fight like that? You ever seen
I've
him?
never seen him fight like that. That's why I'm like,
He would have to
he
do
don't
that
have to
because
pop
he don't
out.
got
Boom,
no
get out the
power.
way, pop out.
So what do you think then, Tucson? How do you think his path to victory goes? If you had to map out his game plan, what would you give him to do?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said, am I missing something because I don't see it? Unless Zepeda is just not that good like that. Like I don't know. I gotta see it. I want to see it. That's why it's interesting to me. I want to see it. But I do think that. What do I think about that first Farmer Zepeda fight? I kind of felt like Farmer got that fight.
Yo, I felt the same way. I'm like, did they rob him? He said it too, remember?
Yeah, I felt like he got that fight, but I'm just trying to think, and I'm looking at how Tevin Farmer fought him, and I don't see Shakur doing that. Even though I felt like maybe Tevin Farmer should have did a little bit more moving, but I just don't see Shakur fighting like that. Low Blow Boxing. Shout out Low Blow Boxing with the $5 in the super chat. He says, ladies, what's your opinion? Jake Paul versus Tank. Big Dog Willie invited me to this platform earlier on KQKC channel on Instagram. Jake Paul is promoting. Shout out Low Blow Boxing. What do you mean my opinion on Jake Paul and Tank? If they fight, it'll be an exhibition fight. They 100 pounds apart. Like it's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, but low blow boxing, you were also told earlier that Jake Paul was trolling. Jake Paul has his next opponent set up. Why
I
you
don't
guys
know
keep
why they keep
revisiting this?
talking
I
about
don't
this. They must
understand
want to
this.
see the fight. They want to see the fight.
I don't know why they keep bringing this up, revisiting this. Jake Paul was trolling. There's no sanctioning body in America that would
Somebody
sanction this
snoring.
fight.
Who's asleep?
There's no sanctioning body.
No, it's not gonna be a real fight, of course. I think Shakur should move and box early and use angles and go to the body to slow Zepeda down. I believe he's quicker than he needs to pick up the output. I think he can hurt Zepeda. Oh, that's another thing too, y'all. We didn't consider Zepeda's a body puncher, and I think Shakur is real soft to the body. I really don't know why nobody ever really goes at Shakur's body when they fight him, but Shakur, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Y'all there?
Yeah.
Okay. Got interested to the body. Let me see what else we got going on. What do you think about the Keyshawn De Los Santos fight, Ashley?
I liked it until I was told that he had health problems and he was overweight. That Edward De Los Santos had health problems and he was overweight. If that's not true, this would be a great fight if he's coming in shape. I think the fight will be fire, and I think this is Keyshawn's hardest fight. But if he don't come in if he don't
And
make
he's on a 2-year layoff.
yeah, in the big ass layoff, like if he don't come in on weight, I already know he's gonna look like SHIT. If he don't come in looking like he's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just another perfectly matched fight again from Top Rank. That's just what they do.
Now,
You know
how
what
do
I'm
you
saying?
feel about when people like point out and say things like that? A lot of people feel like, you hating on the fighter or you don't want to give them credit. And it's like, it's not like, I don't want to give them credit. Is that not like the reality of the situation? Like I
Yeah.
don't get why people get like emotional behind that. Like
If it's
you
true,
bring
it's
up,
true.
yeah, like he brought down Pedraza. he brought Limos was overweight too. Now De Los Santos gonna be overweight too. And it's not like I'm trying to say nothing negative, like I'm just pointing it out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the fight, Jab Queen Boxing?
Well, first of all, Limos had just fought what, Africa at 140. So he was probably like in limbo, or probably didn't have enough time to lose that way. I don't know what his issue was, but he did bring him back down. De Los Santos, like Ashley said, it would be a good fight if he was at his best. But I mean, we'll still see what he brings. I want Keyshawn to start gradually stepping up his competition so that when he too puffs his chest out like Shakur and the rest of them do, he can actually have a leg to stand on, because we all know that Top Rank has a tendency to baby their fighters or to strategically move them. So when he starts stepping it up in competition, then, and they would like to pull the wool over our eyes and make us think this is a step up in competition, but it's not. I'm not sure why he's not fighting. Wait, what is Abdullah ranked now? Because he coming. Abdullah's he should be right behind them, shouldn't he?
I'm not sure about his ranking. I gotta look it up.
He said he was ranked high for a shot at Keyshawn and Shakur's title. That's what he said.
Yeah. So that would be a good fight. We all know they like to play boys club when they feel a threat. So who knows? But I would like to see him step it up in competition. I don't think that this is really going to get. I'm not tricked. I'm not fooled by this particular fight. I'm gonna watch it.
Y'all give me like 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm not fooled by this particular fight either. What do you think actually would be like a good step up fight for him, like a real good name on his resume? I mean, this isn't bad, but it's not. I'm not fooled by this particular fight.
You talking about Keyshawn?
Yeah.
It will have to be somebody that's being pushed right now. And I believe that is the next fight that's coming up. It'll be Mortala, the dude that fought Tevin Farmer already, and one dude that just had a fight, because he won a title fight and it's coming up. You know what I'm saying? It's either going to be Abdullah Mason or Mortala, somebody like that. I really want to see if you know what I'm saying? What's his name? Frank Martin is coming back, yo.
I thought he was coming back at 140 though.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'll come back at 140.
Now, where is O'Shaquie Foster ranked?
O'Shaquie is a champion, so I don't think he's really ranked nowhere.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to see them mix it up with guys that are around their same height, weight. You know what I mean? No issues, previous medical issues, and nothing like that. I saw Edwin De Los Santos. It was in Spanish, but I watched the interview anyway. He looked like he lost some of that weight. I think he's about to enter fat camp to get the rest of it off. But he said he feels fine. But again, he's just training with no punches being thrown back at him. So it's okay to feel fine now. You know what I mean? But he said he feels good. He said he feels strong. He's not worried about going into Keyshawn's backyard. So,
Okay.
What do you think of Keyshawn's brothers? You think they any good? Me personally, I think they trash. Except for the younger one or the older one.
I like Keon.
Is that the older one or the younger one?
Keon is younger than everybody, but he's just bigger than everybody. He's the
Yeah. It always confuses me because he is bigger.
His jab is nasty. I like his jab. Mm-hmm. I met him. I have a picture with a couple pictures with Keon. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
But I think he fights pretty good. I think Calvin needs some work. But they said Calvin was the one that they was asking to fight because he really had a career. He was an electrician or something like that.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
So they wanted him to fight to make the three brothers happen or whatever. But
DB3,
yeah. The other two was into it to fighting.
Keyshawn and then the older one. Or the young. I always get them confused.
I think the oldest one is Calvin. The oldest
Kelvin or Cal. Okay.
And then is Keyshawn, I believe, is the middle child.
Yeah, Keyshawn is in the middle. I'm clear on that. I'm just not sure the oldest one. Is he the tall, skinny one, or is that
The one that fight at 140 is the oldest one.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I mean they one of them just need to stop. But Keyshawn, like I said, he's good. I don't have a problem with him. And the one thing about Keyshawn, he will fight you. You know what I'm saying? I just want him to step it up in competition a little bit more. I'm not sure because I know he too has been calling out Tank, and I'm not sure he's ready for that. But what did you think? What did you think of the other part of the press conference? Edward Berlanga and Shiraz.
I think that's going to be. I didn't see the press conference, but I think that fight is going to be better than what people are expecting it to be. I really do. I think Shiraz is a good fighter. Like I really do. I just think his stance is whack. It's that way he stand in front of a fighter and fight. Like his stance is whack to me. You know, but because he leave his body open too much. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He rely on his reach. Which is there's nothing wrong with that. And he got Pop. He throws combinations. He knows how to stay on the outside. But we're gonna see how you handle Berlanga because Berlanga will explode and jump forward with a lead right. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see how he can handle that. You know, Shiraz looked good when he dismantled. What's my boy name? Tiger. What's his name?
I know you're not talking about Adonis.
Shit, no, he beat up. What you call it? What's dude name, y'all? That he beat up real bad when they had the 5 versus 5.
Oh,
what's his name right now?
Okay,
but
I mean, so okay, Berlanga.
But when he fought Adamas made him look bad as fuck. That's why people think he sucks coming into this fight. But we got
that's what he said.
We talking about Edgar Berlanga here. Like nobody gave Edgar Berlanga no real respect or props for doing shit until he fought Canelo Alvarez. Bro, that's one fight. After that, he fought he really fought nobody besides Canelo Alvarez. Yep. Like for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. Shiraz didn't look all of that versus Adamas, and Adamas was cooling him, but Adamas didn't drop cuz Adamas really didn't hurt him like that. Like and he got great footwork and he's better skilled than Edgar Berlanga. So how is Edgar Berlanga really gonna get in there and get the job done against somebody that really got better footwork and skill than him?
And that's what I was thinking too. I mean, as I watched the press conference, Berlanga
Williams got his ass beat. Thank you, Brandon House. Emma Williams. That guy.
Berlanga is very delirious. I mean, he, like you said, he's still living off that Canelo loss. It's like, bro, you lost damn near every round, if not every round. So I'm really not sure why he's.
What's up, y'all? I'm coming right back. I got a phone call real quick. I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
Okay. He lost pretty arguably every goddamn round against Canelo. So I'm really not sure why he's high on himself either. I would have much rather preferred to see him fight like a Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? Ashley? Yeah, I would have much rather seen him fight like a Caleb Plant or something like that.
Who? Which one?
Berlanga.
Oh. I think he's scared of Caleb.
Okay. Yeah, I know he is.
I don't think he want that fight. Like, I think he want to build his momentum and become something in the sport so he can be bigger in New York City, baby. So I don't think he want to fight anybody that's gonna diminish his boxing skills, and that's what Caleb Plant will be doing. Caleb Plant will make him look bad as hell in the ring because of his boxing ability, his hand speed, and his ability to use just the left in a whole fucking 3-4 piece combination is crazy. Like, it's different.
Yeah, nah, yeah, he definitely got hands. That's my little white chocolate right there. But what I'm about to say is, and then Berlanga, because he mentioned to his first round knockouts, but it's like, Berlanga, the last opponent you had a bad BBL, boo. Did you see how that man was shaped?
Damn.
I was like, good God, where y'all find this man from?
Yeah, he had a spare tire around his waist.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, y'all. He looks like he just gave birth a month ago and he still got the baby weight.
Who watch that BBL because he looked at a mess. I was like, what the hell is this? But he's high, like you said, on that Canelo fight. So we're gonna see. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Shiraz went in and schooled him. You got Shiraz winning?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the fight being held at again?
It's in New York.
And who's behind it? Is this Turkey?
Yeah, this is a
Turkey
Turkey
loves Sherrod. Turkey
I know.
loves that guy. He's not going to lose unless he stops Sherrod. That's the only way he's losing is if he gets stopped.
Berlanga said he was going to knock him the hell out. They said they don't see it going past 5-6 rounds.
He's going to have to knock him the hell out to get a W because from what I seen them do when he fought Adonis, man. I mean Adonis there. Shit, I said Adonis Stevenson. When he fought what's his freaking name? Carlos Adames?
Yeah.
Man, nah. And you know, after that fight, they ranked him over. They ranked Shiraz or whatever his name over.
Well, we know
Adames.
why that happened.
So I mean, and you see what Turkey did during the fight, looking at the scorecards, going to tell him shit. That had a built-in excuse after the fight, saying he broke his hand. But yeah, he turned right around and fighting a power puncher like Edgar Berlanga. So I mean, it is what it is.
Rallo, you're more than welcome to click the link, sweetheart. He's saying we're disrespecting Shakur. You're welcome to not click the link. I'm sorry. Call in and let us know your little grievances, child, about how you think this fight is going to go. You clearly have a difference of opinion. And that's another thing too, Ashley, that I find interesting. I don't know if you encounter this as you travel in these spaces, but the sheer just overconfidence of Shakur, I really have to be like checking myself twice and 3 times. Like, do I be hating him? Because I really don't understand what they see in this young man. Again, he is a defensive wizard, but outside of that, I don't see anything else. Am I missing something? Like, am I being clouded by my just disdain of his performances? I
think everybody has their opinion, and you like what you like. I like power punchers. I always like knockout artists. I respected Shakur for what he does in the ring. I liked him when he was at 126. I seen him grow into a better fighter, and get in down and dirty at that weight class. When he moved up versus certain fighters, I seen different shit. That's when I started to say, like I've been saying since I was the one who said that Shakur was Bud 2.0 in 2018. Like, bro, I was the one that said Shakur is scared to get hit in 2017. I was the one that said Shakur and Devin Haney got some type, like they're never going to fight each other unless they're at 140, 147 when 2017. Like, so I've been saying this shit about Shakur. I'm not a hater. I'm a truth teller because all that shit turned out to be fucking true. So people can say whatever they want. Motherfuckers like fighters, and that's cool. I like fighters too. I've been to fights. I've been to his fights. I paid money to go to at least two of Shakur fights. So I'm not a hater, but I like what I like. And he used to look good, and he's in my opinion, he stopped progressing when he started, maybe it was his hands, you know what I'm saying? But he just stopped being offense. He stopped his offense just slowed so damn much. His fighting style it was whack. You know what I mean? It was boring to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not hating, but a lot of people feel that way. Like I was at them fights when people got up and walked out and people were sleeping. I was there. You know what I'm saying? And it's not his defense. Like everybody always, when people say things about Shakur, people want to act like we hate him because he don't get hit. Nah, I'm not hating at all. But if I'm paying to watch a boxing match, somebody should get hit. If he ain't getting hit, what's stopping him from hitting somebody?
That's facts, Ashley. That is big facts. And you know what? You're right. I used to be like I used to be big on Shakur as well. Like I'll say maybe towards his like last year or maybe before his last year at Top Rank, I started to like slowly, you know what I'm saying, turn away from him because like you said, he started to become less and less interesting to watch. But during that whole thing that he was going through with Bob Arum and all that, I was like, oh yeah, Shakur, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like stand on business. They ain't doing what they supposed to be doing for you, then you know what I'm saying, make moves to better your career. And it just doesn't seem that he's done that, or he just hasn't made the best decisions, or at least put himself in the best situations to advance his career. Because it just doesn't seem to me that he's, you know, he just seems like his career is on a downward spiral almost. I mean, you went from Thursday nights to now this is your second undercard. So I'm just trying to figure out where's the disconnect. And like you said, nobody wants to be honest about the situation. And you're right, maybe it is his hands, and maybe that's like, you know, the big secret. Well, it's not a secret because, you know, his grandfather has spoke on it previously, and he speaks on it periodically, because they also asked him about his hands at the press conference, and he said he was all good to go. So maybe that is an issue, but at the same time, like you said, I mean, well, what are you going to do then? You know what I'm saying? Because you need your hands. You got to throw your hands.
Maybe y'all in the chat remembers better, or you can tell me right here on the panel. Everybody knew that Floyd's hands was hurt. So was that a known fact when he was fighting that he had hurt hands?
Absolutely.
So what's the problem with these fighters nowadays saying that they have hurt hands? Why is it a mystery 7 fights down the line? This is, like, in my opinion, I'm going to say it again here on 2 Cents platform. As I said on mine, Shakur Stevenson, I played a couple videos and shorts of him in interviews of him saying what he don't like about the game and how fans view him and it's not correct and all this other shit. And I agreed with him. He was speaking facts. Nothing he said was a lie about the stuff how fans view him. But it's his own fault. And honestly, he didn't have to change anything. He didn't have to change the way he feel. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to change the way he fight. He didn't have to change, you know, the fact that he don't care about the fans. He didn't have to change his point of view and about shit. He could have still said all the whack stuff that he said, but this one thing would have changed his career. Everybody would be looking at him differently if he would have really chased Gervonta Davis. Tank was a pro before he was a pro. Let's just get it out here. Tank was a pro before he was a pro. They both started at 126. Okay. They both was at 130 at the same time. That's when they first got in the same weight class. And Shakur Stevenson was asking to fight Leo Santa Cruz. And everybody was telling him Leo Santa Cruz is about to fight Gervonta Davis. Y'all remember that? Both of them was in the same weight class.
I'm following you.
If Shakur Stevenson fought everybody on Tank's resume up till today in 2025, we wouldn't be saying more than half the shit that we saying about this man. Regardless, if he went 12 rounds and won with every opponent, a lot of people wouldn't be saying a lot of stuff that we saying about him. And it will really look to casual fans that you was chasing Tank because you fighting all of his hand-me-downs. But he don't want to do that. He turned around and demanded that Tank should fight one of his opponents, like Edward De Los Santos. Like, and the crazy shit, the only person that he want to fight and don't want Tank to get the rematch because he wants to fight Lamont Roach. Like, bro, in my opinion, Shakur has built his career on controlling the narrative. But he's not doing nothing to show people that he really want to fight besides talk. Like, and honestly, when people really want to fight, they fight people leftovers. You see his buddy Keyshawn Davis, he fought one dude. He fought Pedraza 7 years after Tank fought him. 7 years after
and
Tank
then said Tank.
The man fought Pedraza. He fought one fighter in Lemos, and then what did he do? Call out Tank with vigorously. He called him out vigorously after the Lemos win. All it took was him to fight one fighter. Shakur never did that. The man never fought one fighter that this man fought, and he been in weight classes longer than he has at 130 and 135. How do you not fight one opponent?
Ashley, I'll even take it a step further, a little deeper, right? So you know how Shakur hopped in that ring after Devin beat up Lomachenko? Y'all all be at Tank's fights. Why y'all don't do it? Ryan took his ass back to the ring begging for his rematch. Y'all all be in the fans. Y'all all be in the stands like fans. Why don't y'all hop up there and get in that ring and call that man out if y'all really want that smoke? I mean, you've done it before, Shakur. You did it to Devin. I mean, Bill snatched him out the ring faster than you could say had chew, but that's neither here nor there. You did it. You got your high yellow ass up and you hopped in that ring. Why you don't never do that to Tank? You be at all his fights. I've seen you.
Yep. What he do though? You know what he did? He got the press pass and the backstage pass to go back there and take a picture with Tank. That's what he did.
He his number one fan.
Exactly. Just like Ryan, just like Rolly, just like everybody. Number one fan. Y'all want to be this man.
They all
always wanted to be. You always wanted to have, and I always said that shit, man. If you could wear people's skin for Halloween, a lot of people will be Tank every fucking day. They'll be Tank even on their birthday. They'll be motherfucking Gervonta Tank Davis.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Too,
talking about him and everything.
They want to be him, but they don't want to put in the work that it takes to be him. I like you said, to your point. They pretended they was gonna fight Ryan, never did. I don't see either of them, like you said, calling out Rolly. They want to act like they want to fight Tank. They want to go straight to the top. They don't really want to put that work in. Like you said, fight his opponent, see who beats them better. And I don't care what nobody say. Keyshawn is angling to stab Shakur in the back. All that brother talk, you mostly hear that coming from Shakur. You mostly hear that shit coming from Shakur.
Oh,
that's
man.
Ridiculous.
I think if Shakur ever say he want to fight, Keyshawn would be down without having a conversation about it. He'll be down.
Yeah.
But boxing hackers say they got a DL relationship. That's why they not fighting each other. I mean, people are like, oh, well, they friends. They shouldn't fight each other. You could really hurt each other and kill each other in the ring. I'm like,
he was friends with Jamel Herring.
Are Keyshawn and Shakur Shakur Stevenson really gonna kill each other in the ring?
I almost broke my toe getting back to this damn computer when you said that shit. How in the hell are they gonna kill each other the way Shakur fight? Get the hell out of here. If Keyshawn really look at him as his brother, he ain't gonna go for the kill shot. What are we really talking about? We done seen people walk up in the ring and it'll be a glorified sparring match. We talk about people that spar each other all the time and y'all are friends. How you gonna say, oh, well, it'd be killing no, it's not. Because y'all are friends. Stop bullshitting. Now, how you gonna tell us if you give us $100 million to fight, we'll fight? But get the fuck out. So you fight right now. Get the fuck out of here. You fight right. All it takes is anger to fight. Shut up and stop playing with me. All it takes is anger. If he step out of line with you and you step out of line with him, y'all gonna want to fight. Period. Yeah. It's not gonna take a lot. Stop acting like that. People tripping with the whole. Well, both of them are tripping with the whole. Oh, it's a kill mentality, nigga. Since when have Shakur? You haven't looked like you had a kill mentality in a long ass time. And the most recent time was Padley. But before that, how long did it look like you was trying to kill somebody, bro?
But and which wasn't him and Jamel Herring friends?
Shout out to D1 with the $4.99 in the super chat. He's just showing support for the channel. I don't know if y'all been reading the comments, but they are loving the show. They definitely loving the show. Big Dog Willie. Oh no, that's not Big Dog Willie.
I'm about to say that nigga back again.
This is Low Blow Boxing with the
that nigga back again.
$5 in the super chat. He says Big Dog Willie said Vanilla Ice is singing the national anthem at the Jake Paul versus Tank fight. 2 cents boxing. Is that true? Appreciate the content. Shout out Low Blow Boxing.
Low Blow Boxing. You gotta really surround yourself with
Big Dog
people,
Willie burner account. That's Big Dog Willie burner account. It gotta be.
Okay.
It gotta be because ain't nobody else talking about that. I think Big Dog Willie really wants the Jake Paul fight. He really wants this fight, y'all. He's spending a lot of money promoting it. He's spending a lot of money promoting it.
What if we said Shakur was gonna fight Jake Paul? Everybody would have a fit, right? Oh, he's too big for Shakur.
No, they'd be like, he getting that bag. Shakur getting the bag.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be like, Jake Paul ain't gonna be able to touch him. Shakur getting the bag.
And I would say we stop with that narrative too, because Padley touched him just fine.
And that's what I'm saying. Okay, the performance he had with Padley, right? And I'm not gonna be like, oh, he fought an electrician, all that. I'm just looking at the performance
I
and
am.
what he did in the ring. Is that what he needs to do to beat Zepeda? Because I feel like Shakur be get people say he don't get hit. Shakur be getting hit though.
I'm
Like
about to say they be hitting that nigga.
Shakur be getting hit, and I feel like he's susceptible to left hooks. I felt like in the Artem fight, he got hit with a lot of left hooks.
He got hit with a lot of lead straights when he fought Valdez.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. But did y'all talk about the Berlanga Shiraz fight?
Yeah, we discussed it. She's going for Shiraz. Who you going for?
They don't have a dog in the race.
Either.
Berlanga's annoying,
He is.
but I
He
don't know.
mean too.
I don't completely dislike Berlanga. He's just like annoying, like nigga, sit your ass down somewhere type of
Now I
thing.
like Belanga. He just like you say he annoying, but I like Belanga. I like that little, you know what I'm talking about? He delirious as hell, but I like him. I like him.
The thing about Shiraz though, which I just realized, is that he's moving up. And is he like that to just move up a weight class? I mean, Berlanga not trash. He can fight. He decent, right? Is he like that to just move up and go beat Berlanga coming off his last performance? Because that performance wasn't the greatest.
Man, my point was Carlos Adames styled on him, couldn't drop him or stop him. So how is Edgar Berlanga going to do that?
Yeah, that's true. But what about
you need to stop him to beat him because that's Turkey's boy.
how
And
much? And another thing about Shakur I wanted to ask too. Speaking of Turkey's boy, this is what I wanted to ask, right? Because all things we talk about are all things that I've talked about Shakur, I didn't take into consideration his hands. So on a percentage scale, like I feel like every fight he say, oh my, not every fight, but I think the last two fights he's like, my hands is healed, whatever. Then he get injured in the fight, right? So what percentage? Because if his hands get hurt in this fight, what is Shakur Stevenson gonna do? And I seen in the Padley fight, I felt like when he was really getting the Padley and really letting those shots off, his hands started giving him problems. And I think it's both of them. I don't think it's just one hand. So all things considered, we talked about, the fight with no hand injuries. What percentage, like maybe a 60% chance his hands would be cool? I know we don't know all the ins and outs, but if you had to throw a percentage on it, about his hands, and is that really the main factor in this fight, is if his hands is able to stay healthy?
We kind of touched on that. We determined that we can't use that as an excuse anymore, because Mayweather had hand issues as well, and he was able to put on dominant performances. But if we're asking just in percentage wise, from Shakur's own mouth at the press conference, he said his hands were good to go. So I'm gonna say 100%. I can only go by what the man tell me. Ain't that what his fans say? So I'm gonna go with 100%.
Okay. Ashley's corner. So you think his hands is fine? There's no issue, and if it is an issue, it is what it is. Because I'm the type of person, like I don't be like, oh, it's just excuses. I don't do fighters like that. Like I don't be saying like if all things were this way, he would have won. But I do like to acknowledge the reality of a situation, right? So if Shakur loses and he got issues, I'm not gonna be like, oh, he only lost because of the hand issues, but I will take that into a consideration because it affects his performance. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. And that's a very thin line, I feel. And one day I want you to show me how you walk that. Because I'm just of the belief if he said that his hands are fine. He said they're ready to go. So I'm just going to go with that. They're ready to go. But I also do know that Shakur, talks a lot of trash that he doesn't really back it up. So,
I'm telling you now, that fine line thing you just said, I'm going to use that. Go ahead, Ashley.
Shakur's a liar. When he fought Edward De Los Santos, people said that he had 1,000 injuries. But what did he say before the fight? He was lying out his ass. He was saying he was acting like everything was 100. and he was saying he didn't give a damn what the fight what the fans was intending to see and all this other shit. It's never been a time where he sat there and admitted any injury, and he's had an injury for 7 fights, according to his uncle or his grandfather, whoever that is in his corner. He's had it for 7 fights, is what that man said. But the dude said
that is true.
7 fights.
That's
and
true.
when has he ever said he had a hand injury until when we found out that he had a hand injury? Because he had scorpions on his hands.
True.
That man is a liar. He's not going to say one time that he has any injury. Even in the prime time, to say you got an injury is after you look bad in a win when you fight. He didn't say he had one injury after he ran around the ring with Edward De Los Santos, and I still don't know how that fight wasn't a draw. Nothing fucking happened. Nothing the fuck happened. So how wasn't it? Why wasn't it not a draw?
He said he had a stomach ache, right, in that fight?
Huh?
In that fight with De Los Santos, didn't he say he had a stomach ache?
He had a lot going on. He had a lot going on.
Man, Bob practically said that Shakur shouldn't have fought. They said he had a shoulder injury or some shit, an elbow injury, fucking finger injury, he had a bad stomach, he had a fucking headache. I don't know. He had a lot of
things wrong. Let me get this super chat real quick. Shout out Band Up.
A lot of shit was wrong
with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Keep it up, Nickel Slick." Shout out Band Up, the homies Band Up. Man, listen, me and Band Up go, and this is what I'm talking about. Me and Band Up go way back. When I first met Band Up, we was arguing about the Terrence Crawford Spence thing. So we for sure didn't agree on nothing. But shout out to Band Up.
I met him on Manager Marty panel too. I thought that thing wanted to fight me when I first met him because I was up there talking about Bud too. But Band Up is my guy now. I still don't like Band Up, homie.
But so you're right, Ashley. You're right. It's like.
So basically, what Ashley's saying is the nigga needed a doctor's note for the fight. Is that what you're saying? he needed a doctor's note for the fight.
I just think that hand thing, like because it's like, and I see him talking about his hands in an interview. I think it was after the Padley fight, and he kind of got like emotional real quick. Like, I think his hands are really, really giving him an issue. And I say this too, we keep being like, oh, the Tank fight, the this and this and that. But if his hands are injured and he's able to get fights and able to still perform and win and be able to get paid, I'm cool. Like, okay, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, I'm not gonna keep condemning him knowing that his hands are injured and complaining about the people that he's fighting. But where the issue comes in is that you don't be being honest. So that what you say, Jab Queen, you want to know how I walk that fine line, right? Like, you don't be being honest, so I can't even really give you that benefit of the, what I'm saying? I can't give you that benefit of the doubt like that because you telling me your hands are fine. So I gotta, hey, your hands are fine. And you want to fight Tank. Like, Tank. This the fight you really want, and that's a whole nother conversation. But we just gonna see how he do with Zepeda. And I know people want the Tank fight, but there's plenty of other people at 35, I think, that people would enjoy seeing Shakur Stevenson fight. And I know, like, all the top people ducking him and all the other people ain't good enough to fight him. So he's always in a very weird space. And when he does fight an opponent, people have criticisms because they like, bro, who is this? Like, why you fighting him off a loss? And why you doing this? And why you doing that? But I think, like you were saying, this is his biggest test. This is like the fight where you coming off the fight, you coming off a win. I don't know, Ashley. You remember we had that conversation one day about Shakur Stevenson and him fighting his sparring partners. Do you know if he sparred with William Zepeda before?
Yeah, he has. I heard that.
I don't know about that.
I heard that he has. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up right now because I know I heard one of them say that.
Because I'm not sure if he had ever sparred with De Los Santos.
No, I don't think. No, he never sparred De Los Santos when he fought him.
So I think it's gonna be a good fight. We'll see. I don't know how Shakur gonna overcome it, bro. Like, it's interesting to me. And when you throw them hands in the mix, that's a whole nother dynamic you gotta go in. But y'all know what I never understood about his hands, right? And they say, his hands is
I don't
injured because
know.
he
He
don't
didn't. He
he
didn't.
don't
He didn't spar Zepeda either.
he don't turn
Okay.
his punches over and he don't punch right. And I don't know if just Mayweather had brittle hands like weak bones. That's why his hands was messed up. But I don't understand how you don't punch right. You get what I'm saying? Like for all this long time, you've never punched right, even after your hands begin to get injured, you didn't start punching right. And why are you punching wrong? What advantage does that have to you? It's not helping you hit harder. Like why are you punching wrong? Like that's the part of it that I be like, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
I think a little bit of it has to do with him being right-handed and him fighting as a southpaw. Just a little bit. Because I think it's being that it's not natural. He's not throwing his hands or his arms naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not his
Oh,
punching isn't right.
that's a good point. But even still though, Ashley's corner, like
Somebody said
you've
something
been
about the
fighting this
wrap
way
of
for
his
years
hand.
though, Ashley. You've been fighting this way for years. You still ain't got your mechanics together.
It all depends. Yeah, it all depends on if he's listening when he's training. You know what I mean? It all depends on how many yes men the man actually got.
But what
Mm.
somebody said something about how he wraps his hands too. They said that may have something to do with that.
Oh yeah, most definitely do. The way you wrap your hands is the reason why your hands will either break or not when you even punch in the heavy bag. For real, for real. But constant hitting something like that, if your hands isn't wrapped properly every time you do it, it's just a matter of time before your hands break down. For real, for real.
Well, damn, who he got wrapping his hands? Lyric? I mean,
He
Hayden
shit.
Moore said 2 cents. His granddaddy said he was getting his hands wrapped wrong. Now let me tell y'all something
yeah.
that's very interesting to me because I got sons that box. I never heard that. Like I never heard if your hands aren't wrapped correctly, you could really injure them. That's something I'm gonna have to look into and make sure my son's wrapping their hands right.
So this is very interesting. So, all right. Actually, I don't remember if you gave your take on. Oh, yes, you did. You said pretty much the same thing I said. How he could win the fight, and then 2 Cent too. You said the same thing. So, I mean, are we of the belief that Shakur can win this fight, or do we just see it being Zepeda's night, or we don't got no dog in this fight? We just watching.
Just watching, but I
Um,
don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Like I want to be like, I think Shakur could pull it off, but I don't really feel like that.
So you're lying to the people, 2 Cent. No,
You know what I'm saying? But that's why I feel like, is it something I'm missing, like overlooking? You know how sometimes
That's
you
what
you
I
see you
said.
watch a fight and you be like, oh, I know this gonna happen, and then it don't happen. You be like, God,
now
like what?
the
Ask,
it's
didn't I ask you that, Ashley?
the
I'm like, yo, am I
mistake
tripping? I don't
the
see what people
mistake
see
can
in this
be
kid.
if Zepeda throw the same shit over and over again is if he make himself um repetitive in this fight, he's going to give Shakur a chance to look good every round.
Mm,
Just
So
like
you think he'll
how
figure him out and be able
Fight
to?
Jose
Sport Talk.
Ramirez, in my
Hold on.
opinion, was
Fight Sport
looking
talking
repetitive.
back. This is the women's only panel today, but you can call in at 281-845-2103. Call in Fight Sports to get your 2 cents off. Um, any more women in the chat that was like to join? I don't know why you mad Toy. I know for sure she was gonna be up here. I think Ariana in the chat. Y'all click the link. Miss Barbara D. What T with the
I,
T? Where y'all at? But
I about to say we're having a key. But
I don't
what you were
know.
saying,
Let
Ashley?
me
I don't know what was I saying.
No, you were saying about
You were saying
Zepeda.
that
You
if
said if it
Zepeda
becomes
keep throwing the
repetitive.
same punches over and over, he gonna get figured out.
Yeah,
So I heard Ryan say that he fought Devin in spurts so he wouldn't figure him out. You think that's a good game plan for Zepeda, or you think Shakur moved too much for that? Like you just got to go at him.
That might be, but you don't want him to sneakily rack up those rounds and then be able to get on his bike the rest of the fight.
you
So
know,
I don't know if what Zepeda's game plan is, but I would try and smother his punches. And if I was Zepeda, I'd be punching his damn hands since we know they don't work properly anyway.
He for sure need to do some body work. I think if he go to Shakur's body, it's gonna be crazy. What happened, Ashley?
Funny as shit. She said punch his hands because they don't work properly. She's crazy.
That's why I thought, but that's funny. But I always wondered, like, why are they
All right.
being so open with his hand injuries?
Let me say this, yo. Shakur Stevenson is a pretty good counter puncher, and he can fight off the back foot. We've seen him do it. I think honestly, maybe not fighting in spurts, but I think having a break in some punches and letting Shakur get off some offense, he'll leave himself exposed. When you throw punches, you can't possibly be guarding both sides of your face or both sides of your body when you're throwing punches. So
that's a fact.
It's like if he gets Shakur to swing, he can land on Shakur because he comes forward and throws a lot of punches. But if he's just throwing punches, man, he can defensively. Shakur can win the round. Just being defensive, just not getting hit for real. If he's just throwing the same combination and doing the same shit over and over again, that's a way that Shakur can win. But at the same time, maybe some breaks would be a good idea. Maybe some, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if Shakur will throw some punches at dude. I really don't know.
But you know what? That's the thing too that Turkey mentioned. They have pretty much had enough with that. That May 2nd card. They ain't really trying to hear that run around the ring shit and not fight. So he's gonna have to toe the line some way, like you said, maybe fighting spurts or whatever to make it look interesting, because they've had enough of that with that May 2nd card. They are sick of that.
I don't think Shakur gonna want to be first in this fight though. Like I don't think he's gonna want to throw punches first. I think he'll be comfortable trying to counter William Zepeda rather than trying to get off his shit. You know what I mean? Will he be throwing punches? Yeah, he's gonna have to because Zepeda's gonna make him fight. But and he's gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Shakur's gonna fight. He fights every fight. You know what I mean? It just takes him some rounds to do so. And during that time, Zepeda gonna be throwing 100 punches every round.
All Things made a good point. He says Farmer hurt his hands versus Zepeda. You think Shakur won't?
His hands still hurt.
Y'all see it go the distance, right? Ain't nobody getting like put down.
I thought was Zepeda pop. I'm trying to think back to that Tevin Farmer fight. Did Tevin have a lot of damage?
Tevin Farmer on that shit, so I don't.
Not really. He didn't have a lot of damage though.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. We're gonna see. Looking forward to the fight. Definitely gonna be an interesting fight. Who else on the card?
I would like to make an announcement that I am very upset that I did not see David Morrell at that press conference, nor did I see Subriel Matias. I don't know what the hell they think they doing trying to shun my boy, but I was looking forward to seeing David Morrell.
Why didn't they have them at the press conference? They just had the two main events, I guess.
I guess so. When I was waiting,
Ashley, did you see the press conference?
She said she ain't seen it.
Man, you gotta watch it. Eddie Hearn was like, Shakur's the next Mayweather.
Oh my God! I said, Eddie, get off your knees, my God.
Eddie Hearn's tip of his nose will always be brown because it's always up somebody's asshole.
That's what I said. Get off your knees, man. There's people in here. Good God, I couldn't take it. I said, this nigga is angling. Either he got fired and he trying to get his job back, or he knows Shakur don't want to deal with him no more and he was doing something. But I said, why don't you just unzip his pants right here? Jesus
Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says, wow, a boxing panel where you can hear everyone on all the topics and no one talking over each other. Hacker, take notes on how it's done. Shout out, Mr. Greg. Yeah, so we going through all that. And I just think it's weird. Like, a lot of people don't realize it's like they keep trying to convince you, like, I said Shakur is a bad fighter, but they just keep trying to convince you, like, oh, he's a sweet science. Oh, he's better than Floyd Mayweather. Oh, he's this and that. He's this and that. And I'm like, I don't understand where y'all are getting this from. Like, I'm not hating on him. I don't understand the Floyd Mayweather comparison. And I was saying that they keep trying to compare him and do these things with all these fighters, and I just feel like it's because he doesn't have his own identity. And so they keep comparing you to Mayweather, saying you this fighter, saying you like that fighter, because you don't have your own like identity. I think him and Devin Haney kind of struggle with that. Like they don't have their like own identities. I think Shakur is a little better because he has a better and more loyal fan base. But
Does he?
for the most part, according to the analytics, you feel what I'm saying? But I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know.
If we're being honest, I find it disrespectful that they compared him to Floyd. Maybe Money Mayweather, but Pretty Boy Floyd was a dog. And I just don't see that in Shakur. Again, they tell me that he has it in him. I'm still waiting to see it come out of him. So, I mean, I don't know when we're going to see this spectacular performance. He himself only talks about his defense, I guess, because he knows his offense is, something more to be desired. But I don't see it, man. I just don't see the comparisons.
Shout out to Isaiah WYD with the $2 in the super chat. Shout out to Turkey wearing no clothes under his thwab. Shout out Isaiah WYD. Okay, let's see what else we got. We got Keon, Shamsher, Devin. Okay, Crawford and Canelo. Ashley, what are your initial thoughts on that fight?
Crawford and Canelo.
Yeah.
My thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on the fight. I don't care honestly about the fight, but the only reason why I have thoughts on it is because people keep talking about it, And when I make comments on the fight, it's like Bud fans really hate anything that you say about Bud. Really,
Tell me about it. Tell me
but it
about
is
it.
what it is. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I honestly think I know the play. If Bud beats Canelo, y'all want to say, "Oh, Bud's the best. He's the greatest. He's the best," and all of this stuff. In my honest opinion, the best person is the person that Canelo don't want to fight. And if you really want that title, Bud had to go through David Benavidez. So how you like me now? How you like me now? All right. I don't care about who wins the fight. I don't. Because I don't care about it. I don't care about if Bud wins, good. If he loses, whatever. If Canelo wins, whatever. If he loses, whatever. I don't really care. But honestly, I think if Canelo loses to Bud Crawford, it would be in a stoppage type fashion. I don't think he can outclass Canelo that much to win. He can, but this whole stopping stuff, I don't think he's going to stop Canelo because nobody has, you know what I'm saying? He never got dropped by people bigger than Bud Crawford, regardless of how bad y'all think Bud is, and he's a bad man. I believe that, he's that guy. I give him all the props in the world, but I don't think he can beat Canelo. I don't. I think Canelo, people forget that he has the upper hand on Bud. People like, Bud has all the advantages. Do Bud take that shit? Do he take that meat that be in Canelo food?
That Colemburo?
Yeah. Do he take that shit? Because Canelo takes that shit. And everybody knows snack. Everybody knows he on snack, yeah. But listen, Canelo got his ass beat by Floyd Mayweather, and one judge said it was a draw. This isn't the type of fight that's being made for Canelo to lose. It doesn't look like it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look who's presenting the fight. Look who's already been with turkey. You know what I'm saying? Getting the most money out of the whole shit. Like he doesn't look like he's if anybody. If this fight go to decision and Canelo don't get dropped, he will have to beat him the way Bivol did. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he would.
He would have
seriously.
to beat Canelo the way
Nah, that's
Bivol
a
did.
fact.
And it's possible. It's possible because Canelo been looking the way he looking. If Canelo isn't taking him lightly and he really looking at Bud like a threat, you know what I'm saying? I don't see him beating Canelo, yo. Like, bruh. And I'm
Shout out.
not even a Canelo fan for real, but I'm just saying, like it's too much. It's just it's too much. He done moved up all of these weight classes. He like a Black Pacquiao and shit, yo. And y'all and everybody trying to say that he ain't doing nothing, but Pacquiao was. If he stopped this motherfucker, he doing something.
The police will arrest him right on the spot.
Ain't no
if he
way.
stopped
If
Canelo,
Bud
bro.
stopped Canelo, he on
He
some
getting
shit.
arrested, bro. He's getting arrested on the spot.
He
I
on some
promise you.
shit. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
there's no way you can stop somebody that been doing unless it's a cut or some shit like that. Some shit happens. This is boxing. Anything can happen. But like, it's a good possibility that Bud can win the fight. It is, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, everybody speaks the same way about Canelo until they get in the ring, and then what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
What
Did I
happened?
just read this on?
What
Shout
happened?
out. They run. Shout out to. Did I read this already? Shout out to Isaiah WYD with the $2 in the super chat. He says Bud gonna do the Charlo and run. Boring fight in my opinion. Shout out to Isaiah WYD. And hold on, y'all. Let me get one more. Let me get one more super chat. Shout out to Marshawn West, who need to come up here and click the link with the $10 in the super chat. She says, "Women, we are better at this boxing talk." Salute, Queen. Shout out Marshawn West.
Salute, Marshawn. But yeah, and to Ashley's point, you know, we don't know how Bud is going to perform at that weight class. He has an extra weight now. He's gonna have to move around. We don't know how he's gonna take Canelo's power. I get what his fans are saying that he's gonna outbox Canelo, but we all know that you're gonna need more than that to win against the face of boxing. I mean, that's just what it is, you know. I mean, we
Right.
saw the fight that he just had. He ain't do pretty much a goddamn thing, and they gave him that fight. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like he didn't move around the ring when he fought dude.
And he has like a 4-fight deal with Turkey. So I mean, they
Yeah, I
ain't really
said
trying to risk that.
I said this a couple years ago. Everybody seen Bud move around at 140. How much moving did he do at welterweight? People always talk about how good his footwork is, bro. He don't be moving like that.
And then they not
He move a
considering
little
the
bit.
ex-
He
what
don't be
about the
moving like
extra
that.
pounds? What
Ever
about the
since-
extra weight?
Exactly. Ever since he been moving up, how much moving did he do versus last opponent? And now he got even more weight.
Imagine,
And
Mama.
you fighting against somebody smaller than you. He's not gonna move around for what? There's no reason to move around. Canelo gonna be right there in front of him.
And
But
Canelo got a
this is
hell of
another
a
thing,
chin, bro.
people
So
don't take into consideration. And I mention this, and then I want to talk about the fight even happening. Period. Another thing people don't mention is what is Bud gonna do when Canelo be punching on his arms and punching him on his waist and
that's what
all
I
of that.
said. How
Like
he gonna take
y'all
that power?
see? Do you actually? Let me ask you a question. Do you think Bud hits harder than Charlo?
No. No.
Do you think Bud is a better boxer than Charlo?
I think Bud's punch placement is the reason why he gets the knockout, and people forget that he's right-handed when he fights in southpaw. What was your other question?
What was my other question? What was my first question? What did I say? I said
You said
I
if
can't
he hit
even
harder
remember.
than
Oh, I
Charlo.
said, do you think that Bud is a better boxer than Charlo?
I don't know. I would have to, you know what? It all depends on how you look at it, because people would say Bud switches and Charlo doesn't. That's what makes him better. In my opinion, if you can't master one style, it's kind of a problem to me. And he only uses one style depending on the fighter that's in front of him. I don't know. That's a hard one because both of them are very good boxers. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they styles are kind of different, but to me, I think Charlo's the better boxer. If I had to like say, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he's better. I just think he's a better boxer. And when I seen him in there with Canelo, people want to act like he just got in there and ran around, but Charlo was
Man,
fighting at first until he
yes,
hit Canelo with some stuff. Canelo
that
dropped his hands and came forward, and I literally felt like I seen the wheel leave out of Charlo body. And then he got hit and knocked down. He had the head cocked to the side. He was so mad, and
man.
it's like I was watching Charlo in the corner. It was like he was so mad that it was like nothing he could do. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Charlo was like, "Oh, I'm so scared. Let me run around." It was like, "Okay, I tried this. I tried that. This nigga hitting me hard as I don't know what. Like I gotta survive."
Man, Canelo got hit square by Triple G. I think Triple G hit harder than Bud for sure, and probably hit harder than Mel too. He got hit square by Triple G. Like I'm just saying, like if this chin can hold up with all of that shit, like he would have to hit him with some shit coming in that Canelo didn't see at all, and punch through Canelo's skull to drop his ass. For real, like I think a lot gotta happen. For real.
Shout out Adarius Warren with the 4.99 in the super chat. Keep cooking, lady. Shout out Adarius Warren. But I hear them mentioning like, oh well, I'm gonna be able to hit Canelo with shots that he don't see coming. And I'm like, okay, shots that he don't see coming. So cause he don't see it coming, you gonna be able to knock him out? Like I just like Bud, you a 35-pounder, bro. Like you going up, you coming off of a year layoff, you're they said you had an injury within this time that you had to overcome, and you going up 2 weight classes and fighting the undisputed champion
Yo,
in that weight class.
it would be funny if this shit looked like Frank Martin and Tank the whole time. Canelo just walking forward with the high guard round after round after round until he catches ass and stuff. Like he did Caleb Plant. That's crazy,
Yep.
man. That's
Yep.
what it's gonna look like. He's just gonna hold the high guard and get on the inside and try to hit. Like it's the only way this shit is born is if Canelo just keep moving around the ring. I mean, I'm sorry, Bud keep moving around the ring. Just stay away from Canelo and just hit him with the jab and stay on the outside and shit like that. Like that's the way that Bud can win.
Yeah. But even if that, are you going to win the decision? That's the next question. But I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
that's
the
what I'm
turkey,
saying.
them turkey fights be going either way. You never know. You never know. But I don't know. And it's like, oh, we got a phone call. Hold on, y'all. Let me set this up. All right, Isaiah, what's up? What you got for the show? We got Isaiah on the line. What's your 2 cents?
Yo, what up? What up? Shout out to you, 2 Cent. I didn't even know you had a channel. You just popped up on my live. I had to join, show some love.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't know you ain't know.
Yeah, I ain't know. I heard you talk about it, but now that I'm here, I just want to say for all the Bud fans, shout out to Snack. They helped me get a 186. And if they really think Bud is gonna come in and stop Canelo, somebody who's active, who's been active, who we never seen beat up, drop, they're smoking. Because I don't see it. I don't see it one bit. Also, too, I don't know if you caught the Turkey, the when Turkey called in yesterday, and he said this fight is very important to me. We got plans for Shiraz or Berlanga, whatever. I guess they already got Canelo for one of those fighters. To me, it sounds like the fix is in, but that's just an opinion. Sound like they already got plans for Canelo, and ain't no way Bud beating Canelo on Mexican what is it, Independence Day?
Yep,
If it's
yep.
Mexican
Oh
Independence
no, no,
Day,
no, they changed. I don't think they have a date. And that's another conversation I want to bring up with the ladies. Like, they don't even have a date
ooh.
and a location for this fight.
But you know, if you go to BoxRec, it says July 12th and it says Allegiant Stadium. But that's all I want to say. But appreciate you for letting me hop on, and shout
Thank you
out
for
to y'all,
calling
ladies.
in. Shout out. Thank you for
Yes,
supporting the
yes.
channel. Shout out, Isaiah. Um, all right. So let me see. Now we got Rick Timms in the building. Bud super fan. He says the upset is coming. Bud wins by majority decision or split decision. No one stops or even drops Canelo. Dude Chin is top 5. Shit, nobody beat Canelo by decision either. Rick Timms. But I know we on the Turkey platform, so it could go either way. But
Mm.
I don't know, y'all, and that's what I was about to bring up too. Turkey been kind of capping about this fight.
Which
Um, he didn't have the venue, but he was saying it was gonna be on this day at Allegiant Stadium. Like apparently he never really had any of that booked. So the fight don't have a location, it don't have a network because it was supposed to be on Netflix. Remember? That ain't happening. It was supposed to be at Allegiant Stadium on the 12th. That ain't happening. Then he said, "Oh, we're gonna do it on the 13th." And now, from my understanding, the 13th ain't happening. So I've always just felt like this whole Bud fight thing was kind of weird, but now it's like you got them facing off in the ring, a press conference supposed to be coming up, but we don't even know where the fight gonna be. Like I was reading online, people had bought tickets and all this other kind of stuff for the fight. They had tickets on sale on like the ticket website. I think it's AXC or something like that, whatever it was, where you could buy tickets. And I'm like, this is kind of scammy. Like, how could you be selling tickets to a fight with a venue you don't even got booked? Like, the whole situation is weird.
hey, 2 cents.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I gotta go. Thank you for having me, though.
All right, Ashley, thank you for coming up.
Read Isaiah's super chat real quick.
Oh, let me see.
He wildin'.
Shout out to Isaiah with the $2 in the super chat. He says Rick Timms got a poster of Bud on the ceiling. Shout out Isaiah.
Salute to you.
All right, Ashley's going to thank you for
All right,
coming up.
Ashley.
I appreciate you for coming up.
Salute to the chat. Holla at
I
y'all.
hope you
See
come
y'all
back.
later.
I hope you come back. All right.
For sure.
Shout out Ashley Corner for coming up on the panel. Let's give her a round of applause. Yeah, so that's my thing. That's my whole thing about the fight. Like, what's up with it? Like, what's going on? Like, why all the chaos and the confusion behind the fight? That's just my question. Rick Tim say 2 cents. I'm a Bud supporter, not a Bud super fan. Big difference. I call him out for his funny business, unlike his super fans. I know Rick Tim's. I'm just messing with you. Just jokes. It's just jokes. But people keep saying, like, referring to the Amir Khan fight, and I'm like, y'all seen what happened to Amir Khan? Then they refer to the Laura fight, and I'm like, Laura didn't get the decision. So, we'll see what happens and what's going on. Jab Queen Boxing, what you got on the fight?
I didn't even know that honestly that they were selling tickets to a venue that doesn't exist. So you are 100% correct. That is very scammy. I don't know what the hell Turkey got going on. But if we're being honest, if you looked at Canelo when Bud got in that ring, he didn't look happy. At his press conference with Skull, he corrected them and said, "No, no, no, I don't know anything about that." So from the beginning, it appears that Canelo hasn't been interested in this fight. It's more or less Bud pushing for it. So I'll be surprised if it does take place. I mean, I'm sure that Turkey is trying behind the scenes to strong arm him, but it just doesn't seem like Canelo's interested in this fight at all.
Did he look kind of funny when he got in the ring and they did the face off thing?
That's what I'm saying. He looked at like what is going on, like he wasn't aware that that was about to take place. He just looked very uninterested in the whole situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. We're gonna see. I mean, I'm gonna keep my eyes on it and just try to stay up to date with it. Like, people want to know what's going on and where the fight gonna be.
Yeah, I'm
Shout
gonna
out.
have to make a correction video because I definitely when they did that whole in the ring thing, I made a post about it. I'm like, what? But I should have known better. It's a turkey card.
Shout out to Isaiah WYD with the $5 in the super chat. He says, we already seen Turkey gift Sherez a win. I could see him gifting Canelo a win if it don't go Canelo's way. Shout out Isaiah.
That's the thing, though. No one can tell me how it's not going to go Canelo's way, bruh. Like stepping into that ring, Canelo's already going to have 9 out of the 12 rounds on the scorecard.
Rick Supreme say Canelo gets no credit for beating that ninja. Yeah, he did look confused. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if they make the fight, they make the fight. We don't got a dog in the race. If Terrence Crawford win, that'll be great. I would love to see somebody accomplish such a quote unquote great feat, but it's just like y'all seen how bad Canelo looked his last fight. Everybody talking about how trash he looked, how slow he looked. He ain't do nothing. He was just running around the ring and all of this stuff. And I'm like, but this the Canelo y'all want to see in the fight? That's all I'm saying. Like, I want to see a more competitive Canelo. I don't want to see you fight Canelo off his worst performance. But you never know, because he looked bad in one fight, and he got in the ring with Charlo. He looked like a completely different Canelo. He did not come to play with Charlo.
Well, that's because he knew he couldn't play with Charlo. And to your point, that performance, it could have been bait. Who knows? But we've also expressed on your platform that Bud has a knack for picking his opponents at the most opportune time. So, who's to say? Like you said, I really don't have a dog in this fight anyway. I have denounced that Chucky doll. And it makes my stomach hurt to say nice things about Bud. So I'd really like to move on if we can.
It's boxing. It's boxing. It's boxing. It's boxing. It's boxing. But what else you got? Let's see.
No, I'm just playing. No, so you watched the press conference, right?
Yes.
Okay, we already discussed the Eddie Hearn on his knees for Shakur. What do you think that was really about? Do you think that he knows Shakur has like other hands in the pot, or do you think that he knows Shakur is looking to leave after this Zepeda deal?
I think something might have kind of got shook up with the whole Lou DiBella thing, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I don't know. If he trying to be like, hey, look at me, I'm better for you type of thing. Like, what I really thought was weird was him asking for the ring belt. Did you think that was strange? I'm like, why would you ask for the ring belt right now at the press conference? Like, shouldn't that have already been
Yo,
discussed or
yeah.
talked about? You know what I'm saying? Before now? Like,
He said he
cause
wanted
he's
to
like,
change it too.
cause
When
the guy
Turkey
was
called,
like,
he wanted to change it.
the guy was like a committee decides on basically who gets to fight for the ring belt. And I think somebody was saying, what is a pay to ranked? I think somebody
No, no,
was
no.
saying,
That was he was asking about the pound for pound list when he said that. And then Turkey called and said they wanted to change the ring belt. They want to change the belt altogether. But when he said that, he was complaining Eddie Hearn. You talking about Eddie Hearn, right?
yeah, I'm talking about when Eddie Hearn was saying basically this fight should be for the ring belt.
No,
And
he
he
was
was
complaining about the pound for pound list because it's Tank,
no,
Keyshawn,
no,
and
no,
then
no.
Shakur.
He asked them. He literally asked them, could the fight be for the Ring Magazine belt? And the guy told him,
Oh
I'll
yeah, yeah. He said
basically
it's a
see what I
committee.
could do. There's a committee that has to decide that.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And Two
Hmm.
Cents Boxing, Turkey stated Shakur and Shiraz are Riyadh ambassadors. I noticed he didn't say ring. Sounds like Shakur got plans already. What you
Ooh.
mean? Plans to do what?
To stay over there with Turkey. That's a good catch. Mm.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you heard Shakur be like, hey, if Tank want the fight, you got to get on board. You got to come over here with
Yeah, he
Turkey.
probably signed a blood treaty with Turkey. Who knows what's going on over there? I mean, next he'll be holding Turkey's hand. Who the hell knows? There's some weird stuff
Man,
going on over there, man.
I never thought I'd see Bud holding a man hand, bro. That shit wild.
That's
But hey, you gotta do what you
crazy.
gotta do. That's their culture, I guess. When in Rome,
That ain't our culture.
when in Rome. But anyway, y'all, I got a couple more minutes left on here. I was only supposed to be on here 1 hour. End up being on
You
here
know that
two
was cap.
hours. I had a very challenging day at work, man. People, bruh. I just don't understand. But
Yeah.
Shakur had let Turkey rub on that thigh meat just to get that money for real.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
His blood treaty is crazy. Blood Treaty is crazy. Anybody else want to? All right, open panel. Y'all can click the link and come up and give your 2
Here
cents.
they come with
I
the.
got a couple more minutes left. If we get an interesting panel on here, I might stay on here longer.
Let me
Open
get my
panel.
aspirin.
Ladies' night is over with. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Shout out to all the ladies on the panel. And I just feel like we be more sensible and logical in this space. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Lineal belt supposed to be between the two best of the best in the division. So they trying to get him a lineal belt so they can be like, oh, he's the lineal champion. I don't really even, the lineal champion and all of that. I know some people like
That confuses me.
enjoy that. They enjoy that part of boxing, but like I said, I mean, it's cool. The belts are cool, but the belts just aren't end all be all for me personally. Isaiah, WYD, thank you for joining the panel.
Yo. Yeah, I just got a
Salute,
couple
Isaiah.
things I want to say, and that's all, because I gotta go eat dinner with my girl. But I caught that that Shakur, that turkey where he told Shakur, oh, this fight is very important to me. Shiraz and Shakur are ambassadors of Riyadh season. And in my head, I'm thinking, Riyadh season? Why he ain't say ring? He got Abdullah, Keyshawn. Who else he got? Shushu. So what difference is a ring ambassador from Riyadh?
All things. I'm gonna put you out of here. All things. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Isaiah.
It just don't make no sense to me. And for him to say this fight is very important, and then for that one little midget dude, what's his name? The dude that buddy who be on at the Ring magazine, the one that always got the sunglasses on, Rima, is that his name?
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that midget funny dude.
Reno, what's on the fat one?
Yeah.
Remo or some shit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I thought it was corny for Eddie Earns to say, oh, this man is number one lightweight, pound for pound, this, that, and the third. Eddie, Shakur ain't done nothing at 135. And for him to say Zepeda been ducking for years, Shakur only been at 135 for 2 years. So shout out to them for having Tank at number one, and shout out to Mike Coppinger defending Tank Davis and letting them know that Tank Davis is. Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Mike Coppinger pissed Shakur off, bro. And
that's because he kept it real.
Yeah, he kept it real, and I thought that was the best thing out of the whole conference, because you know what, it's getting sad how Tank, he wants to be Muslim, so what do? They talk down on his religion. He gets locked up. Bill Haney puts mug shots. It's getting old. And I get it. They hate Tank. Why? Because he don't got to sell out and go to Riyadh season just to make that bag, because he making that bag. I guarantee everybody who hates him, he's going to do double or triple on that Roach fight, and they might even do better, almost views like Ryan. Mark my words.
Ooh, big numbers like that. Shout out Mr. Greg on the panel.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Tank and Roach. That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, Tank and Roach is going, like, I don't hear the rematch been announced. I don't hear nobody talking about Tank fighting Jake Paul. And I'm like, he not even fighting him, y'all. Like, he's not fighting Jake Paul. He's fighting Lamont Roach in a rematch, which is not a fight y'all gonna be able to sit here and cry and complain about till the fight happens. That's all I'm saying.
Even if he was, who gives a damn? Why don't y'all worry about Shakur facing Zepeda, or who Devin shell-shocked ass is going to fight next? Don't worry about Gervonta St. Davis. He went straight into a rematch, which is something Devin did not do. Shakur never rematched De Los Santos. Don't worry about a dog. You worry about them puppies y'all got on the porch.
Shakur over there capping out the mouth saying, oh, I want to rematch De Los Santos. No, you don't, brother. You don't want that smoke. You get knocked to oblivion. Stop it.
Mr. Greg, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, Mr. Greg. Happy Friday.
Hello, Jeff. How y'all doing? I just enjoy listening to you all this evening. I hope more of the ladies come on. And as I said, it really is refreshing to be able to hear everyone and hear that the opinions are good. The talk is good. And it's still enjoyable. We ain't got to talk over each other and holler and scream and call each other names and all that craziness that takes place. I get how that can be entertaining to some, but I just wanted to comment on that, and I'm glad that now your network is growing. Now you have 4 shows. So as you continue, and yes, I'm always trying to say, get the glasses so we can keep that going as well.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I need to drop my link. Hold on, we
yeah,
got two more people on the panel. Shout out Shelton
Mr.
Moore and Rod
Shelton, my
Notice.
favorite
Shelton,
hater.
how are you? How
My
you doing,
Go
favorite
ahead,
hater. What's up, Mr. Shelton?
go ahead, Mr. Greg.
Yeah, I just want to continue to say, um, do this more often. I mean, yeah, let's you do the ladies first, and if there's enough time, we'll come up because we're gonna sit here and we're gonna listen and we're gonna enjoy that as well. So you're doing something again. You continue to do stuff that other content creators have not started yet. Now they may copy you, but we can all say you were the first, and that's a good thing. Lead the pack. Keep on doing that. On the fights itself, I'm unsure whether even Shakur will beat Cepeda. I don't know why I'm thinking like that, but I'm now unsure about that for some reason. And again, anything can happen in boxing, as we know. But my feeling about that fight is that I'm unsure on the Tank. I think Tank will finish this fight very quickly. He'll redeem himself for whatever anybody was thinking, and that should be good. The Crawford and Canelo fight, I'm now starting to think again, since now they don't have a date, but somehow tickets has been sold. My understanding, that's a little shaky to me. So I'm kind of leaning back toward. I don't even think the fight's happening for some reason. I thought it was going to, but I wasn't ready to make a prediction on a fight anyway because I haven't seen how Bud is really preparing for this fight yet. I haven't heard anything that he's actually doing. I'm thinking they better work a lot on his defense. I think they're going to have to work on him being able to block punches, roll with punches. Maybe we'll see more footwork that Ashley was saying that she hadn't been seeing lately, because he definitely will need to be able to do that. And if he's doing that, I'll find out. Then I'll make a prediction about that fight as I kind of see it. But overall, this was good. A good panel, 2 cents. I continue to see you keep doing stuff. I didn't know you had a channel, by the way, Ty. So, um, when do you go up?
I'm live Saturdays at 7.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to come in.
Y'all make sure y'all go sub up to Jab Queen Boxing Top. Please put your link in the chat. We gotta go over to Jab Queen Boxing. She got a great
Yeah, do
show.
that.
She's hilarious. She has a great sense of humor. She knows a lot about boxing. It's just common sense boxing talk, right? It ain't no echo
She's
chamber.
my
Everybody can
favorite
go over
hater.
there with their own 2 cents. I mean with their own 2 cents, with their own opinions, and it's all good. Mr. Shelton Moore, what is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
2 cents? What you got for the show?
I was just listening to y'all with the hate. I love y'all, man. Y'all just you like who you like and you hate who you hate.
There you
You know,
go.
and
Go ahead and tell us
I
how
can
Zepeda
respect
ain't that good. Go ahead.
and I can respect it. I can respect it. You have your opinion. I have mine. I believe Shakur Stevenson gonna beat the brakes off that bum
You
because
mean
he's
run,
not
right?
very good. He's not very good. He's just not very good. I can't. Like they say, you can't unsee what you saw. And I saw
Yeah.
that man have a hurt fighter in front of him for 12 rounds, and he couldn't do nothing with it. He's trash. He's trash. And he gonna get beat up.
Okay, that's what
Bud
we want to.
spent, yeah, and that's what you're gonna see. Bud and Canelo. I don't know what's going on, but you gotta understand. They said the 12th or the 13th. Then they said Allegiant Stadium. Now they're saying New York, LA, or Vegas. Man, I think what happened was this guy came over here, and not understanding that this is not Saudi, and you just don't get stuff because you say you're going to get it. You got to talk to these people and negotiate with these people. You didn't just go tell Mark Davis you're going to use the stadium. Not during football season, exactly. So I don't know what's up with this guy, but he
And
got to
he
get
said
his
it was
ducks in
gonna
a
be
row.
on Netflix.
Huh?
Like he literally just gave us another misinformation campaign. Like he told us it was gonna be the first fight on the TKO. It's gonna be on Netflix. It's at Allegiant Stadium. It's on this date. And when you hear that, you're like, okay, cool. But now it's like, nigga, you didn't have none of that.
Yeah, you can't just but see his problem. What I see his problem is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. He's used to dictating things to people, and that may work in Saudi or wherever you're from, but in America, that shit don't work with other billionaires. You know, and who says I want you on my platform? Who says having this fight in my stadium is worth my while? Who says that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People don't just loan out stadiums. If you using AT&T Stadium or Allegiant Stadium, you paying to use that. You're not using that for free.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't get to dictate what day you get to use it. You know, because he may not want his staff converting that field, you know, to a boxing ring and back to a field, because the Raiders got a home game on the 15th of September. So, as a matter of fact, it's a Monday night game.
Rollo,
It's a Monday night game.
And I think that was the problem, is because the football team had a game that Saturday, people were saying.
Oh, that's the
So-
University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
That's Sunday or something.
UNLV plays there on Saturdays, and the Raiders play on the 15th. They play the Patriots, which is a Monday. So,
And then you're trying to
it was
compete with football and college
I thought they had a
football.
soccer game or something there that next day.
They just made. But I know that the UNLV, the Running Rebels play there. They play football there on Saturdays. And the Raiders, you know, that's their field. And they got a Monday night game that week. So I don't know what's going on Sunday. But, you know, you probably needed to clear that with Mark Davis and the Raiders organization before you put that out there. I'm just saying.
But don't you think he should have already known that, even if he wasn't going to have it there? Don't you think he would have known it and not do it?
And that's what we said, Greg. Obviously, I would think he should have known that, but obviously he didn't.
I don't know. That's a weird thing to me. Like, that's just a whole weird.
That's really
You
strange.
think that he'd be progressively getting better? I mean, I can understand when you're new to some sort of business, you make mistakes along the way. But after the Fatal Fury fiasco, you think that you would check off certain things, like, okay, logistically, I need to make sure this is done, or I need to see what other events are scheduled around this particular event that I want to have. He just doesn't seem like he does that. He just seems like he says anything and then tries to make it work afterwards.
Turkey's getting progressively worse. And
yeah, he's
all
getting
the
worse.
line- And all the line with the views. Then he wants to say impressions because it sounds sweet. And for the people that don't really understand what impressions are, they're gonna say, "Oh wow, they're doing so much. Oh my gosh, Turkey's the savior." That Friday card was so bad. I bet you anything people are calling to get that refund money. And that Saturday card was even worse. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. I called and tried to charge back.
And what they
Man,
say?
you think Turkey getting chargebacks? That's crazy.
And what
I
they
believe
say?
this shit.
What they say?
I'm getting that money back.
They gave it back to you? Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, I got Capital One.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
you
cool.
did. Yeah.
So with Capital One, you just dispute it on the. And
Yep.
all they
Oh,
do
you
is you just dispute it, and they give you that bread back. But hey, don't be surprised if a lot of people do the same shit.
Damn, that's crazy.
Oh, I
And
would be
I
surprised.
know that we don't know if the numbers is confirmed, but they said it only did like 95,000 in the US.
It
And only
probably
like,
did
What you talking about? That Friday? You talking about that Ryan Garcia card? You talking about?
well, it was like a bundle thing or whatever. So
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was,
think
45
you
apiece.
can't really accredit
Oh, they got
the
me.
numbers to one fight.
They got me. Yeah, they got me. They got me for the
all
bundle.
that bank, Shelton.
You didn't get the bundle?
Yeah, they worked me. They worked me. They worked me for the bundle. And I watched 7 trash ass fights.
Did you watch the Sunday? Did you watch the top right?
Both days was trash. Both days was trash, man. This shit was trash.
Sunday.
Top Rank was the
The
best
Inoue
card,
fight.
and that was
Inoue
free.
fight.
Oh, the top right?
That
Yeah,
was
the Inoue
free.
fight? Yeah, that was a fight. That was a good fight. The Inoue
That
fight was a great fight.
And it was free. How
was
was
a great
the free card the best fight? That is sad.
Hey,
And then Top Rank went
it's like that sometimes.
But you know what? Top Rank went in through.
See, I'm
subs
not
at
surprised. You got to remember, I'm not surprised because I come from the days when you could watch Alexis Arguello versus Subio Pedroza on Saturday afternoon at 2:00.
Yeah.
I come from those days where you could watch Ray Mancini and Livingston Bramble Saturday at 1:30.
Well, I think it's clear Turkey is like not going to be here much longer. And when he first got into boxing, I thought maybe he would be more strategic if he was really trying to quote unquote take things over. But now I'm like, I don't know what his agenda is. Like this is all just weird now. Like I don't know what Turkey's doing now. Like I really
Well,
don't
we'll
know.
figure. I mean, I think he'll be as long as he got bread, he'll be around because people gonna need bread for fights. And
But how long is that
don't
gonna
get it
last?
twisted. But don't get it
Crypto.
twisted, and don't think that these
Hey, with
promoters
crypto,
ain't happy that he's paying for shit that they don't have to pay for. They like
But
that part. They
isn't
like that
Dana
part.
White supposed to be helping him?
which one?
Huh?
Huh?
Dana White. Isn't Dana White supposed to be helping on this?
Oh yeah, well TKO is
Well,
Dana
Oh,
White.
with the TKO league, yeah. But
Yeah.
TKO, first of all, Dana White has his own problems. Don't he owe them MMA fighters money?
Yeah,
well, it's
you know
rumor
what?
now that Turkey, because Dana White was supposed to promote this word on the boxing streets. Dana White was supposed to promote the
Canelo
whatchamacallit
and
card,
Crawford, right?
the Canelo Crawford card.
Canelo
But
Crawford.
apparently
Yeah.
Turkey and Dana allegedly they fell out or whatever the case may be, and Dana's no longer doing the card. Turkey's doing it now.
Surprise,
Oh, this is
surprise.
just pathetic.
Allegedly,
Surprise.
Turkey was trying to hold Dana's hand more, and Dana's like, "Yo, bro, I can't. I'm sorry." And Turkey got mad. Allegedly, though.
But I think Dana White, because if you go back, and I told y'all this when I watched it, when Turkey was sitting there, kept talking about the Canelo fight, Dana kept being like, I don't know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like he kept kind of being like, Turkey, we not doing, like, why you saying that? We ain't did nothing yet. And it was a weird, and I kept trying to point it out, like, y'all don't see this dynamic of with Dana and Turkey. It's like Turkey wants Dana to say certain
It was
things,
like
and
a
Dana
power
is
Yeah, he
not
struggle.
does.
saying it.
He
Yeah,
tries
he's
to
not.
get
And
Dana to
Dana's not saying it.
manipulate.
Yeah, and Dana's
Because
not doing
you're
that.
dealing with a guy. Because you're dealing with a guy who's used to dictating to people instead of working with people. He's used to dictating.
Mm-hmm.
He says
Yep.
it and it happens. That's what he's used to. He doesn't understand why he says something in America and it doesn't happen. He doesn't get that.
But you see, if TKO does become, well, I don't even want to say become a thing because it already is. Dana only has one good fighter, and his name is Callum Walsh. Callum Walsh has openly stated on interviews that Dana contacted him to be the face of TKO. Callum Walsh he's a good boxer, 24-year-old Irish, 11 knockouts, 13 wins. I've seen him like twice, but I just don't see him holding down TKO because, for one, he's someone that just got introduced. And I mean, he's been around not long enough, but he's been around since 21. So I don't think that's a pretty good idea to have someone like that as the face of something that is going to underpay fighters and treat it like the MMA. That's just my opinion.
Well, who else you gonna get? Who else you gonna get?
Nobody.
Yeah, because it's gonna need
Ain't
more than
nobody
one
taking it.
person. That's the thing.
And ain't nobody taking that nasty pay that I seen rumored. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
the
that
real
was
thing.
low budget welfare pay
That
for
was-
the
oh my
walk.
Well, so but you gotta remember, most of these guys, if you're not really one of the top 10% of fighters, that's what you're making. These dudes got jobs. These dudes be going to work. All these dudes is not eating like that.
Shout out to
No.
Padley.
Shout out to Juke. Dana said he hated the Canelo Bud fight. I didn't hear him say that. Shout out Rollo the Sweet. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I'm just wondering when Shakur Wash paid like 10-2, then what y'all gonna say then? Will it still be running?
He'll move the goalpost again.
Watch
Like
him
they
how
gonna move the
by running.
goalposts again?
He about to run. You know he not about to stand with him. He said at the press conference. Shakur already said at the press conference he not worried about boxing Zepeda. He said he not coming to stand in the middle of the ring. He about to do that De Los Santos. So you might say he about to win, and he might win, but he ain't gonna win in the fashion that we want to see. And Turkey paying that bread.
Hey, a
And
win's
Turkey
a win.
said it's important.
But see, that's the good thing about Shakur, though. He doesn't care how you want him to win. He's going to win the way he wants to win.
Right.
You should know that by now.
Nah. But you see,
like, I hear y'all, he can win how he want to win, but how is he going to outpoint Zepeda if Zepeda is throwing more punch and hitting him with more shots? That's what I'm saying. Like,
but Zepeda's not going to be hitting him. This is not.
Right. Yeah.
This is not
But he
Tevin
has
Farmer.
hit-
Zepeda's not going to get close to this guy.
nah, yo, Shelton, you
So how
right.
he gonna-
You right.
So how he gonna where's his offense gonna be then?
It's
Where's
gonna
his?
be running
Where's his?
2
That's
cents.
my question.
Where
That's
has
my
it
question.
all? 2
Hold on,
cents.
Shelton.
Uh-huh.
I get you. But listen,
Uh-huh.
listen to this, right? Listen to my angle.
I got you.
I get you
I
on
got
the he's not gonna get hit, right? But where is his
you.
offense going to come into play if I'm throwing a high volume of punches and you spending time not getting hit? Where's your offense coming in at? You get what I'm
It's
saying?
gonna come
It's
in the
not
same
like
way it
I
came
can.
into. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna
It's
come in the
not
same
like
way it
I
came in
can.
against Nakatila. It's gonna come in the
Nakatila
same way it
throw as
came
many
in against
punches.
De Los
Okay,
Santos.
didn't throw as many
And
punches.
everybody's gonna be upset. They're gonna be mad. People are probably
Right.
gonna walk out in the 9th round again, but he's gonna win the fight. That's the way it's gonna look.
Nakatilia, but remember, Nakatilia is a 130 fighter. Shakur ain't looked that good at 135.
Shakur got
He
two
didn't look
knockouts
good
at
against. He didn't
135,
look
right?
that good against Nakatila. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's gonna do the same thing he did against Nakatila. He's gonna do the same thing he did against De Los Santos. When Shakur is in there with a puncher, he's going to move. He
Shakur
doesn't care
couldn't
how you
even
feel
get
about
out
it.
Josh
He
Padley.
doesn't care. He
Shakur
knocked
got
out
4
Padley.
fights at
He stopped
135.
He
Padley.
He
knocked
got
out
2
Padley
stops at
out of
135. What's the
you
problem?
know damn well Padley wasn't even trained, and it wouldn't cross my mind if Turkey had Padley as an on-call electrician
Ain't no way
at
Padley
Riyadh
wasn't
season.
training. He made weight in the week. That boy
But
Padley
was
made weight, and
nah. He
and
came
Padley
out
in his
an
next fight
interview.
just knocked the dude out. He
That
made
boy was
weight,
saying
and
that.
in
Y'all
his next
gotta
fight he
stop
knocked
trying to
the dude out.
discredit him.
So
No. Padley came out in an interview and said, "I've been staying ready, and I go to a gym.
Okay,
I
so
don't
you
go
just
to a
said he wasn't
boxing gym.
training.
I go to a
well, that's
CrossFit.
cool.
CrossFit
That's
is
cool.
not
He made the
boxing.
weight.
Yes,
He made the weight to get
but
into
Shakur,
the
it
fight.
took
Did he
Shakur
not?
9
Did he make the
rounds.
weight?
It
It took
don't matter
Shakur
what
9
Shakur
So
do. It
what?
don't
rounds.
That's
take
on
away.
And
him.
the only reason why
So
he stood
what?
toe to toe with him was because he was out of shape.
Okay.
So
Bub, where you
what?
at?
Out of
We
shape
don't
until
care.
he
What we
went
telling
9
you?
rounds with
What
Shakur.
we
So
telling
you're
you is
telling
that
me
this
you're
is what
not
we
about
try
to
to tell
run
you.
with a volume puncher? Come on
What
now.
what I'm
That
trying to
makes no
tell you is
sense.
Shakur doesn't care about our opinions. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He doesn't
He ain't
care.
supposed to.
So if Shakur
He
didn't
doesn't
care
care how
about
much
our
you drag
opinions,
him. He
nah,
doesn't
but
care
hold on
about your
though.
opinion. He's gonna fight
But,
his fight.
but Shakur out of his own mouth, he comes out before in the past and said, "Oh, I'm gonna beat this guy up. I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna beat him in a nice fashion." And then what does he do?
And
He
what did he
runs.
do? And what
I
did
And
he
don't
do?
Shakur cares more than y'all think about what people say about him, or he wouldn't have put Twitter scent on his shorts.
exactly. Shakur cares what we think,
He
and
just
it's
promote. He just promoting
Listen,
himself.
listen
That's
to
all.
me. Listen
but
to
you
me, my
see,
favorite
he
hater,
shouldn't
Jab
promote
Queen
like that
Boxing.
though.
Has he
Just
ever
promoting
changed his
himself.
style? Is what I'm asking you. Has he changed his style? Did he go in there like Devin and try to do something different? Did he do that?
No, because you know what?
No,
I'll
but
give him
that
that.
doesn't mean anything. I don't think he can.
No, he can't
He's
because he's
not
still
going
putting me
to.
to
He's
sleep.
gonna fight his fight no matter who he's fighting.
Every
That's what
Shakur
Shakur
fight I seen,
Stevenson's
I
gonna
still
do.
be asleep.
But
So
Shakur
he ain't
showed us
changed.
he could stay in the pocket though, and then he showed us he can get on his back foot. So he has
Yes,
showed
but
different styles. What do you mean?
Zapata is different. Do you really believe he's gonna stand toe to toe with Zapata in the
Now,
pocket?
Zepeda's gonna
Zepeda's
get
not
knocked
just
out.
so. Listen,
Stop it.
Zepeda is a value
Stop
puncher,
it.
but he's not a heavy
Zepeda's gonna
puncher
get
though.
knocked out. Zepeda's a bum. He's gonna get beat up.
Farmer punches harder than Shakur. Stop it.
I don't know about that.
With 8
Zepeda ain't no
knockouts in
heavy puncher.
35
He's a
fights?
volume puncher. He
With 8
punches a
knockouts
lot,
in
but is
35
he
fights,
hitting hard?
I don't
Everybody
believe that.
stop it. Stop it right now. Who just said
I don't believe
Zepeda's
that.
going to get knocked out? Who said that?
That was
I
quiet.
did. I
That
said
was
that.
I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm going to petition to have you thrown off this goddamn panel for the most ridiculous thing in the world.
He might
Who's
get
going to knock
stopped
him
though.
out?
He
Who's going
might
to
get
knock him
stopped.
out?
You don't think
Shakur
Shakur can
Stevenson
stop
is
him?
gonna knock Zepeda out.
Nah.
And then you're gonna move the goalpost again.
Mr. Shelton, go take your medication, Mr. Shelton.
Y'all acting like Shakur ain't never stopped nobody at 135 though. How many stops Shakur got at 135?
Do you hear
Shakur
how
only
she
got
talking to
one
me, Greg?
stoppage
Do
at
you hear how
135.
she's talking to me, Greg?
He got 2 stops at 135.
That's because I missed you. I don't know where you been or who you think you is. I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. He
What's the
stopped
Chinese
he stopped
dude? Yeah, man, what y'all talking about?
Yoshino.
Yeah,
You're
he
right.
stopped
That wasn't at
Yoshino. He stopped
135,
Cam.
was it?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it was.
was. It was like
Yeah, it
his
was
first
that.
fight at
Oh, okay.
135.
That was his first fight out. But you see, he
Oh,
only
yeah,
got
that's
2.
right. That's right. Okay.
Right,
He
y'all
only
don't be
got
knowing what
2.
y'all talking about. Y'all just be so
I don't know
busy
why
hating
y'all
that
think
y'all
this.
neglect all the facts.
First of all, let's be
The
very
I
clear.
just don't know why they
Nobody's
think
hating
Zepeda's any
on
good.
2 years.
Well, when you
Why do
Nobody's
say
you
he
hating
think
knocked
on
Zepeda's
nobody
any
out,
good?
then that's a lie. So that's hating. When you
No,
say
That's
he
my
knocked
sweetheart,
question.
somebody
you
out,
have
What
to
has
change the
Zepeda done?
verbiage. You
that's
have to
hating.
change the
What has
verbiage. You can't
Zepeda
say knock
done?
people all
on.
out.
Let me
That
get this super
confuses
chat.
me.
Let me get this super
What's
chat.
that?
Shout out to Tim
Go ahead.
Carey with
Where you at, bub?
$5 in the super
Yeah,
chat.
we
He
out,
just
bub. Here we is, boy.
hold on,
They
Rollo. Let me
run
get my
all up.
Let me get my
Come
super
on, Corey,
chat. Shout
do
out
something.
to Terry with the $5 in the super chat. Thank you for
Oh,
supporting
what
the
I was
channel.
saying is
Terry.
you're confusing
Hold on,
me.
y'all.
You
Hold on. We
say
got
knock
Paid in
somebody up.
Full on the panel.
You got another super chat as well.
Yo, Tucson, I actually got to jump out of here. Appreciate you for letting me jump on. Everybody
Hi,
who said
Isaiah.
Shakur, stopping Zepeda, you off that medicine. So I suggest y'all go and take
I
it before y'all go to
agree.
bed.
I
Hey, shout out to you,
agree.
Jeff.
I don't know why I'm so far.
Mahalo.
Y'all act like
See
you
you
friends
later,
with
Read your
Isaiah.
nobody at
super chat, 2
135.
cents. 2 cents. Read your super chat,
Go
please.
take your
Hold on,
medicine,
let
brother.
Isaiah finish. All right,
I don't take
Isaiah.
no
Go
medicine.
take your
What are
medicine.
you
Y'all,
talking
y'all
about?
be good.
Clown ass nigga. I don't
Be
take no
good.
medicine.
All right, thank you
Dope
for
fiend
coming
ass
up,
nigga.
Isaiah. Come on,
How
Rollo.
you gonna call him a dope fiend,
Let's
Rollo?
keep
Come
it clean,
on.
Rollo.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is the fastness y'all be on. You
Read
hear what
your
that
super
man
chat,
said to me?
2 cents, please.
Shout out to Phoenix the Assassin with the $5 in the super chat. He says, last person Shakur hurt was himself with that sad punch and sparring. He ain't stopping Zepeda. Shout out Phoenix the Assassin.
Phoenix, click the link, Phoenix.
Yeah, but he just got to stop in his
What
last
the
fight.
hell what has Zepeda done to make y'all think he's any good?
Did
Zepeda's
you
a
not
bum.
see
He's
his
Shakur
last
trash.
fight?
gonna make you
Right.
think he any damn good.
Shout out Paid in Full. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
What's going on? Salute to everybody on the panel. Rollo, bro,
What's
your
up,
ass be
Paid?
tripping, bro. Like,
Oh my goodness.
Zepeda's just not no walk in the park, and he
I
did
didn't say
have.
he was a walk in the park.
I'm just saying, but he did have Tevin Farmer damn near turning in circles when he was hitting him with a lot of them punches. So
Didn't Tevin drop him or something?
and another thing is Shakur only fight in the pocket with people that don't have power. If you have power, you're not
That's
fighting
what
in the
I
pocket.
said.
Okay, that's smart, but
said.
Zepeda don't got this hell of a power. What power? Who's he stopping, knocking out?
What you make you think? Why he was overwhelming
Who
Tevin
the hell
Farmer?
is
What
Shakur
makes you think?
stopping and knocking out?
Like, come on, bro. We can't
Shakur
just
got
make it
2
seem like
stoppages
Shakur just been
at
fighting top tier
135.
niggas.
Come on, man.
So he can stop somebody. We agree to that, right?
Come on, you
He
counting
stopped the
that
nigga that didn't
nutrition,
even have a
Rollo?
fucking training camp.
I'm
And the
counting
nigga
professional
that
fighters.
stopped somebody that he stopped came back and got a knockout win. Like, come
I'm
on,
counting
bro.
professional fighters, Holmes. What do you mean?
That
How
is
y'all
what do you
niggas
mean?
is couch potatoes probably ain't never been in the ring, keep downing these men. I'm
I've been
tripping.
in the
Nobody
ring.
down
I've
in
been.
them,
I
bro.
said
This
I
is
was
just
boxing
our
since I
I'm
was.
opinion
tripping,
about the
Holmes.
fight. Hold
Bro,
on,
I've
hold
been
on.
boxing since I was
Niggas got
20
Nobody
man
years old,
titties
bro.
downing
Like,
these
don't do
men.
that, bro.
hold on.
I'm
Listen,
tripping.
nobody is
Rollo is
down in no
crazy.
fighters. We just
Niggas
giving
got
an
man
opinion of
titties.
what we think, bro.
Rollo is
Come on
crazy.
now.
Couch potatoes.
Bubs, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? And you and Rollo not about to be up here arguing, so don't
Yeah,
you
who's
start.
that, Bub?
Y'all done made this so ghetto. I'm
What's
telling
up,
y'all, y'all
Bub?
done turned
Show
ladies'
out
night
then,
into the
Bub. Yeah,
projects.
show them man titties, Bub. I got a 6-pack over here, Bub.
Come on now.
Can
We're
y'all
not
go
gonna do
flirt with each other somewhere else?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
this ain't a
Bub,
dick
what was you
slinging
saying,
contest,
Bub?
fellas. Bubs, what you
I'm
got?
To
2
trying to
cents
anybody
tell
for
who
the
y'all,
cares,
show.
I'll
Boston's
be
up
the
out
judge
of
of
here.
that contest.
What's your 2 cents for the
To
show,
anybody
Bubs?
who
What's
cares,
the show?
Boston's up out of here.
We knew that was coming.
Boston out.
You knew that was coming once Jason got hurt.
Knicks beat that ass.
Doing good.
Knicks whooped
Bubs,
that
what you got
ass.
for the
Jalen Brown
show?
just fouled out.
What you say? What you saying,
We
Bub?
can't hear
Nigga, my
you.
bedroom's the size of your house, nigga. Fuck you
I already
talking about?
told y'all,
Oh my
y'all not about to be
God,
up here
what is going
arguing, bro.
on?
We not
Clown
doing
ass
that.
nigga.
Rollo, I don't want to have to put you in the back, bro.
Okay,
Bubs,
I'm
what you
sorry.
got for the
I'm
show?
sorry.
Put his
Let's talk
ass in the
about Tank
back.
never unifying. That's what I
Put
want to
his
talk
ass in
He
about.
the
ain't
back.
talking about Tank. Bubs, you
Whole
can't talk
career,
or
your
something? We
band ain't
can't
never
hear you.
unified. Let's talk about that.
How
Let's
about
talk
we
about
talk about who has a fight coming up that needs to be
We're
That
talking
fighting
man
who
about
they like?
he
current.
got an
Shakur.
obsession with Tank,
all of them
bro.
got a fight coming up.
All these men got an obsession with Tank. It's kind of
Like
creepy.
What you
We
think
talking
about that
he talking
rematch,
boxing.
about
Rollo?
We talking boxing.
he
Rollo,
talking
what you
about
think about the
Shakur right
Tank
now.
Roast rematch? What you think about the rematch that just got announced?
Uh,
What you think about Tank going back into the rematch right after immediate rematch after a draw?
so they
Get
gave a
right
date
back at it.
already?
It's August. What was the date, y'all?
16.
Yeah, they gave a date, August 16th. I don't know if that's official, but that's what word on the street
I
is.
think
August the
that's cool, but
16th or August the 21st?
I think that's cool. I think they had the pressure Tank into doing it. He seemed like he didn't want to do it, but it's cool.
I
Why
He
was
would
need
they
to
gonna
get
have
his
to
say
get
he
back.
pressure
was.
the man that
Now
why
who
would they have to
hating?
pressure the man that actually got on Twitter and said that he could have the fight early as was
Well,
it
that's just
May
what Roach
or
was saying. That's what Roach was saying.
June?
No,
Roach keeps
Tank
saying
said
That's
that.
that.
okay. Hey, Hey,
Right.
that's okay.
Hey,
Roach
Tank
waiting on
can
Ellis,
his
jump in there and get
contract to
his ass
sign
whooped
it. He's
again.
waiting
It's all
on
right.
Tank to sign it. But
you
Again.
want to make a
they
bet,
talking
When did
too
he
Shelton?
get his
far.
ass with the first time?
Tank got his
You
ass
want to
whooped the
bet?
first time. They most definitely
You want
cheated.
to
He got
bet?
his ass
You
whooped the
want
Everybody
to
knows
bet
first
that.
time. He
something?
Yeah.
probably gonna get
No,
his
the
ass
hell it
whooped
did.
this
I don't know
time.
what fight y'all was watching.
We could bet some of your all that talking ain't all that talking don't mean nothing.
They
Put your
most
money
definitely
behind
I
something.
missed you,
cheated,
Mr.
Jermaine.
Shelton, my favorite hater. Where you been? You been
So,
okay?
Mr. Shelton, why you don't think Zapata style is gonna give Shakur problems? That's what I don't
It
like.
will be a good
Nobody
fight.
Because
Listen, he's not
Cepeda's trash.
good.
hold on. That's all
It
we
Because
will
I'll
trying to
be
tell
a
you
say,
good
why.
fight.
Rollo. Hold on. That's
I'll
all
tell
we
you
trying
why.
to say, Rollo. That's
I'll
all we
tell
trying to
you
say.
why.
Go ahead,
I'll
Mr.
tell you
Shelton.
why.
Go ahead.
I
Huh?
watched
Go ahead.
Cepeda. I watched Cepeda. I watched Cepeda in the ring with a hurt guy from round 3 to round 12. The guy was hurt. A hurt fighter. And that hurt fighter dropped him. He couldn't finish that hurt fighter.
Right.
He's
Right.
trash. He's not very
Right.
good.
Nah, he ain't trash,
And he's
man.
gonna get beat up.
He
Mr.
did
He's
get
Shelton, I
dropped.
told you
trash
before
because he
about
didn't
saying
stop
that,
the
right?
fighter that
He
was
I
did
hurt.
get
told
dropped
you
by a
about saying
washed
that.
up fighter.
All y'all Shakur fans running around here talking about Zapata's trash. Why are y'all shitting on y'all favorite fighter's opponent?
Yeah,
So let me
Zepeda
ask
ain't
y'all a
trash.
question though. Let me ask y'all a question because this is what's really crazy,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay.
If
Okay.
Zapata's trash, why is this
Yes.
the consensus that this is Shakur's biggest test?
Because every sanctioning body has Cepeda. I'll tell you why. Because every sanctioning body has Cepeda ranked what? Number 1, right?
Number 1, right.
Maybe Shakur's really not that good since Shakur's
So
I
not
said it's
how
his biggest test
relevant?
at
Shakur the
So
champion.
135.
wait. So how relevant is those rankings that y'all love to talk about so much?
not
If
Oh, you're
relevant at all.
you're
Zapata's
not talking to
trash
me, 2
and
cents.
he's
You're not
number
talking to
one,
me.
like
I mean,
hold
they're
on, we
You're
very
got
not
Phoenix.
talking
relevant.
to me.
Shout
You're
out
not talking to
Phoenix
me because
the
you know.
Yeah, Phoenix,
Go ahead.
and
what's up,
frequent
Phoenix?
flyer on the panel.
Oh,
I
hell
think
no.
they're
Fly
very
that
Go
shit
ahead.
up
relevant.
somewhere.
Now
What's going on,
you know
everybody?
Hell
What's
no.
going
now
on,
you're not
everybody?
talking to me because
I
I
rather
know
step
those
up with
rankings
the
can be
hard head
Hey,
than
manipulated and
Zapata.
bought.
I
This is
said,
shit.
They can be
Hold on, did I
manipulated and
miss
bought.
something?
But Cepeda
Tank and
hasn't lost a
Rolly
fight.
supposed to be
He
getting ready to
hasn't
fight.
lost a
Why
fight.
y'all
Hold
So they
on.
saying
give me
that?
that.
Hey, bro,
Listen,
He's
listen.
sucker.
trash.
Hold
Cepeda
on.
is trash.
We
He's a
gon'
bum.
we gonna do one at a
you
time
terrible, Mr.
while we
Shelton.
talking. And somebody, Mr. Shelton, you be having a crazy feedback. Like I don't be knowing what you be having going on.
What's that
Listen,
hospital room here?
Phoenix the Assassin, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Oh, sure. I want to know what's y'all's topic right now. Seems like y'all be all over the
Right
place.
now, Phoenix, they're talking about how
Oh, that's
Shakur was
them
going to
trying to be
knock
all over the
Zapata
place. We're
out.
talking about Shakur Zapata fight. We've been talking about keys to success in the Zapata fight for Shakur. We've been talking about the things that will possibly give Shakur trouble from Zapata and why this people want to see the fight. And they're
Ah,
saying that
okay.
Zapata is trash, but I'm like everybody's saying that
And they said Shakur going to knock him
Shakur's
out.
toughest test. But y'all saying he
Well, yeah.
trash.
Okay. Well, here's the thing on that. The only question that really matters in this fight is can Zepeda cut the ring off effectively?
Ty, you hungry?
Because if he can't, as soon as Shakur's in trouble, you already know he gonna move around.
Well, that'll
And
be
if
some
Zepeda can't
chicken
cut the ring
tenders.
off, then it's done. That's it. So that's what it's gonna come down to. If he can cut the ring off, then he might be good because with that amount of punches, no, he's got what 27 knockouts in 33 fights. That's about 81%. And the last person Shakur fought with that type of knockout rate was De Los Santos. He ain't fought nobody with that knockout rate since. And this is probably going to be
Good.
his
Ty, go
toughest
in the
fight
other living
at
room and watch TV.
135 because at
You just
135
don't
he ain't
buy
really
my
Cut
fought
this TV
nobody
off,
that's
Ty.
worth
Well,
nothing.
never
So
mind,
he's
never mind.
fought
Go in the other living room
Yoshino.
and watch
That
TV.
was his first fight. He fought De Los Santos. Say whatever you want about that one. It was a snoozer. He fought Haratunian. And nobody really cared about Haratunian, you know. And then he fought who was it just now? Padley, who came in as a replacement on 2 days' notice. And that wasn't really, that was basically Paddy's first sparring session because he fought 6 weeks later. So, that wasn't really nothing. So this is actually Shakur's biggest fight at 135 since he's been up there, and probably the most notable opponent he's going to have since Oscar Valdez. Other people he fought, Jamel Herring. People didn't really care about Jamel Herring until Tank was fighting Roach, just because Jamel Herring beat Roach. Nobody cared that Shakur beat him. And then Conceição, nobody really cared that Shakur beat Conceição either. So apart from them, the only person he really had for real is Oscar Valdez. And then whoever he got his title from it what was it, 126. And he ain't really, what was it, one title defense he's had, and then vacated the belts. Or no, he missed weight on that, and that's why he didn't have a chance to defend that. So yeah, Shakur's only had what, three title fights in his whole career. So, like before becoming champion at 135. So I mean, I'm not really big on Zepeda. I know he was ranked number one by all four sanctioning bodies at once. It's a rare thing, so that's part of why people was excited about it. But besides that, he's a guy who throw punches and bunches. Tevin Farmer is the biggest name on his resume. He beat Mercedo Hester, which is pretty impressive, and there was one other guy too that came to mind that he beat. But Zepeda, he's a guy who is in titleship contention and hasn't really made a name for himself outside of this last year. Like this last year, 2024 was his big one because of his fight with Tevin Farmer and because of his rankings across all four sanctioning bodies. Outside of that, looking at his resume, ain't really a lot of noteworthy people he's beaten. So, at the same time, people be talking about all these resumes and stuff and whose resume sucks and all this and that. Out of all the champions at 135 right now, Shakur and Keyshawn Davis got the worst resumes. And that's just it. Shakur got Oscar Valdez, and that's it. If we're being real about it, nobody care about no one else. And Oscar Valdez already been through hell, tested positive for drugs, and wasn't really someone anybody cared about even before then. They would just say, "Oh, he's a pressure fighter, he'd be knocking people out, all this and that." They didn't care about him. And now he got Zepeda. Keyshawn Davis, he got Baranchyk and Pedraza. That's it. Tank and Lomachenko, we seen who they know fought. So right now, Shakur, despite being in his third weight class and a champion, he's still at a stage where he kind of got to prove himself. And that's the thing for me where I'm looking at it like, if he don't look good in this fight and if he don't look convincing, they're gonna cash him out. They're gonna cash him out. They're gonna find whatever big fight they can get him for. They're probably not even gonna try to negotiate because they know the biggest fight for him is Tank. So let's just get it out the way and then be done with him. And that's it from there. That's the way it's gonna go.
With his cap on, ready to cape.
Shout out Big Dog Willie on the panel. Hold on, Big Dog Willie. Let me get these super chats real quick. Shout out Big Dog Willie with the $2 in the super chat. Jake Paul versus Tank, November 22nd, Las Vegas. Facts. Big Dog Willie is spending a lot of money promoting this fight. I hope they make it for you, Big Dog Willie. Shout out
Big
Juke
Dog,
with the $2 in the super chat. She says, if rankings don't matter, neither do the belts. Shout out Juke. Flyer Frequency, what is your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I just think it's crazy how people start talking about resumes and stuff like that, judging who is the better fighter and all of that. But y'all be adding people on a resume that they lost to. Like, do that make you a better fighter because you got somebody on your resume that's a more notable name, but you lost to him? Like Loma. Loma lost.
What are you talking about?
Well, Loma, he said Tank and Loma got the best resumes at 135.
I think they would be the biggest fight at 135. I don't think they had the best resumes.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about what he was saying about the resumes.
That's not what I said.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I said
he was
of the
talking about
four
the
champions at 135.
Bro, can y'all be quiet, man? Y'all act like females sometimes, bro.
No, you act and you
y'all act
don't
like
even act like a
man.
bitch.
Be
You
quiet,
just start
man.
one.
Wait till it's your turn to talk, man.
Hey, here's the thing. If you're gonna talk about what I said, then say it right.
Be quiet, man. That's what you said, man.
Hold on, Frequency.
That is not what I said.
That's not what he said. He don't want you to put words in his mouth. He's telling you that's not what he said. You're gonna let him.
Well, he gotta wait till after I finish talking to say he ain't say that, right?
Well, go ahead, Frequent. I'm gonna let you finish.
Go ahead, say what you say. What you say?
Oh, you said right, so repeat it for me.
Okay, so what I'm saying is when y'all be talking about people,
okay, you said here's the thing. You say what you say.
you said this is what I said. I said y'all be talking about people resume like, you know, that's making them a better, you know, saying that they're the better fighter when you're adding people, you're talking about people on their resume that they lost to. I don't see
Like
how that
who?
makes you a better fighter because you're
Who I talk about who lost to someone? Who?
you said Loma and Tank had the best resume at 135 is what I
They
said,
do
bro.
right now.
That's not what I said. I said of the champions at 135, Tank and Lomachenko have the best resume. Of the champions, the 4 champions, Lomachenko, Tank, Keyshawn Davis, and Shakur. Tank and Lomachenko got the best resumes at 135.
Okay, and so what I said stands. I'm saying like let me just ask you this. How you put Loma above Shakur if you know these people when you're talking about his resume, you're trying to say like what are you saying? Are you saying like he's are you saying like he should be a higher rated champion because what?
I'll explain it to you so you can understand it. How many title fights has Lomachenko had since becoming a boxer? Basically all but 2 fights. How many champions has Shakur fought in his entire career? And then look at the number of champions he's fought or championship level he's fought at 135. He's not fought championship level at 135 yet. He hasn't fought any champion at 135 yet. At least Keyshawn got Beranicek, no matter how you feel about that, but he was WBO champion.
Yeah, how many fights Shakur got at 135?
You got Yoshino, that's 1. Number 2 is De Los Santos. Number 3 was Haratunian. Then he had Padley after that. This is going to be his 5th one.
Okay,
so like I said,
how many fights Loma had at 135?
And how many fights Loma had at 135? His first fight was against Linares. I think he's had 6-7 fights because I remember he moved up there in 2018 and had nothing but title fights. He had 3 title fights, 2 mandatory defenses in his first 18 months before fighting Devin. And then he had Kambosos after that. So yeah, the Lomachenko's had basically all his fights except Jermaine Ortiz have been against people who've been champions or mandatory.
Okay, well, when he fought Kambosos, neither one of them had the belt, right? It was a vacant title that he was fighting for. And
All right,
then,
hold on,
and then his
y'all could go
And
back and forth.
Kambosos held the titles after beating
DJ, hold
Teofimo.
on, bro. Let her read the super chat, bro.
Hold on, let me
Nigga,
get
he
this
didn't
super
hear.
chat.
Chill out.
Shout out Barbara D, Miss Barbara D, where you was at for the $5 in the super chat for the Grind Queens. Shout out Miss Barbara D. We're gonna have to get you up here next time. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go back and forth, but we got Big Dog Willie up here. Big Dog Willie, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Correction, 2 cents. Big Girl Willie. That's his name.
All right, thanks, Peyton Pennies. I agree, you know. But anyway, I want to say Fizz Assassin is right. Tank and Loma has the best resume at 135. Tank really has a really good resume. Because he fought hair grease. And when you fight hair grease, your resume is up there. But besides that, besides all that, it's good to be on a panel. Talk about Jake Paul and Tank. And Jake Paul and Tank is probably gonna be the fight of the year. So go ahead, Frequent. Finish what you got to say. Go back. Go ahead, Frequent.
Yeah, what I was saying is, it sound like you're counting people on Loma's resume that he lost to, and these title fights that they're talking about. George Kambosos, when he fought George Kambosos, neither one of them had the belt. It was a vacant title. When he fought T.O., he lost to T.O. You're giving him credit on his resume for people he lost to. Like it don't matter.
No,
When
that's what
Loma
you're
had his
saying.
first fight,
That's what you're saying.
Loma's second fight was a title fight, yes, but he lost the fight though, bro. He lost.
Well, how do you know? But hold on, just because he lost fights, why do you think he's giving credit for people he lost to? That's not what.
No, because what I'm saying, because his point that he's arguing, he's saying that Loma.
Frequent, you're wrong. I'll tell you why you're wrong. I'll tell you why you're wrong. I will
Because
tell you why you're
the
wrong.
point that he hold on, let
Here.
me finish. The point that
No, no,
he's
tell
arguing,
me what
he's
his
no,
saying
no,
point
no, no, no,
was.
no,
he's
no.
saying that
Don't tell me my point when you don't even
He said
understand it to begin with.
Lomachenko was in more title
Seriously.
fights, but that's just because Lomachenko was more privileged. So what? He was throwing in a bunch of title
You
fights
can't.
in
Hey,
ways that
hey,
nobody else was able to do.
hey.
Get put
You
in
can't
these
tell people
positions
my
like that.
point
But
when you don't
he didn't
understand it.
win them all. He lost a lot of them though.
You can't
That's what
tell.
I'm
You
saying.
can't tell them. Okay, you take. Let's take out. Hey, let's do this. Let's take out
What
Devin
title fight
Haney.
Shakur
Let's
lost, bro?
listen. Let's
What
take it.
title
Let's
fight
take out.
Shakur lost, bro?
Let's take out Devin Haney and let's take out Tiafimo. Luke
Bro, we
Campbell
not
is
talking
still up
about
there.
Devin Haney, bro. We talking about Shakur and Loma,
I'm
bro.
talking about Lomachenko's resume, you dumbass. Listen, is Tiafimo and Haney not on Lomachenko's
Hey,
resume?
tell her to back up. I can't
He
talk.
lost to him,
Never
bro.
mind.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying take them out.
Never mind.
All
I'm
right,
telling
listen,
her I
y'all.
can't get out.
Hold on. I don't want to have
So
to
she
meet
moved.
y'all, but Big Dog Willie, let him finish. You was getting your 2 cents off, Big Dog Willie.
Yeah, I mean, they're arguing about something that's done right now. So
Yeah,
Big
we know.
Dog
you guys
Willie
are arguing
passed the rock
about,
to me.
you guys are arguing about the same old shit.
We're not
Loma
arguing
had the
about.
Loma had the better resume than Shakur. I'm a Shakur fan. I admit it. So just let it go, man. I'm tired of hearing
Big Boy,
about it.
you don't have to argue with everybody's opinion to try to say they wrong. Like they can have their own
I'm not
opinion. Like
trying
you
to.
don't.
I'm not
Bro,
trying
that
to.
man don't know
I'm not
shit
trying to
about
argue with
boxing,
no
bro.
opinion. I was giving my opinion. And then, as soon as I get my opinion, people start acting all crazy and stuff. You know what I mean?
Cause you
Like
don't
No,
know what
females,
you
you
they
said.
start
talking
talking
about,
and stuff
man.
when I'm talking. I was
Because you
quiet when
said
y'all was talking, bro.
you
But
said
you
he
don't
Dang,
was
know what you be
wrong.
talking about though, bro.
emotional.
This
Go ahead,
about
y'all got it.
this about misrepresenting somebody's point. Yeah, you laughing like it make you look good to say you understand the point
No,
and
I'm
say something that
laughing. I'm
nobody even
laughing at
said.
how y'all can't be quiet and let me get mine off, and
Bro,
then
cause
y'all
your
could come
point
back
don't be
with whatever
making
y'all got
sense,
to
So
rebuttal
dude.
you
or say what y'all can't even
how
hold
old are you,
composure.
man?
Y'all don't got no
How old
discipline,
are you?
bro.
How old are you?
You don't
Yeah,
got no discipline, bro.
How old
you
are you?
don't got no discipline.
'Cause
You don't got
how
no
you gonna talk
discipline,
about discipline and
and
can't
let that
control
man speak
yourself
for himself.
with
Paige,
live?
stop
How you gonna
trying
do
to
that?
hold his hand all the time, bro.
How you
You
gonna
try to
do
hold
that?
everybody's hand that I'm talking to, bro.
Ain't no turkey out of sheep
Stop
nonsense
holding
going up
hands
in
up
here.
here. Let Phoenix
How
the
old are you?
Assassin do his own thing, bro.
And I'm asking
Emotional.
you, how
You
old
talking
are
about
you?
everybody emotional. Look at you.
How you don't know by now that
I'm
lying is not
chilling,
a good
bro. I'm
look?
up here laughing and stuff. He mad because I'm laughing and stuff. What do that have to do with anything? How old I am, bro?
Because of your age, you should know better than to lie and think that that's cool to run with.
What am I lying about, bro?
Oh,
So
you guys are
You
going
ain't
back
making
and
no
gonna tell
sense
forth.
me?
up here,
So you
man. You
gonna
sound
tell me
crazy.
Two cent.
you ain't
Let
up
two
here
cent do
misrepresenting my
something.
point? Come on, man.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go around the panel. Everybody gonna give out their final 2 cents for the show. Bubs, you got something to say for the show, or you just called to give us some view and some scenery?
He cruising.
I think Bubs ain't got nothing to say. He just cruising through the streets. Big Dog Willie, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I was gonna come in here to talk about the great Jake Paul and Tank fight that's coming up November 22nd, 2025 at the MGM Casino. I just want to talk about that fight for a minute. It's going to be a great fight. Vanilla Ice is performing the national anthem. Layla Ali's coming out of retirement to fight Carissa Shields. And we have midget wrestling and a couple other things I want to do. Might be a guest host by Chris Rock and what's the guy's name? I can't think of the name. The other dude, what's his name? Will Smith. So yeah, it's gonna be a good card, and I hope you guys are there. And let me know if you guys are gonna be there. I'll meet you guys in Vegas for it.
Get your
I have
goofy
Jake
ass.
Paul. Hold on, let me finish what I got to say. It's about my 2 cents. Let me finish what I got to say. So I hope that Ty, 2 cent, pay them pennies. All you guys, you guys can show up. I'll buy you guys some drinks. But that's all I gotta say. You guys, peace.
All right, shout out Big Dog Willie. Thank you for
Get your
coming
ass
up
off
on
this
the
phone.
panel.
Man.
What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? Mr. Shelton, you there?
He don't
Going
fell
once,
asleep.
going twice. Frequent, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, I just want to say that I think that if I'm going to rank the champions at 135, I think Tank and Shakur is, fight. They like a close first at that one position, but I think Shakur might have the edge because of his accolades though. And the fact that, Shakur, he was unified before. And when we talk about them fighting champions, it's current champions that matter to me. I think if you fought somebody and then later on they became a champion, that's a whole different story. That don't mean that the competition that you fought was better. Those fighters could have been at a different point in their, skill level when you fought them. You caught them early, before they turned into what they turned into. So I don't think that really makes you, have faced better competition because the people that you beat went on to do different things, afterwards. So I would say that Shakur got the edge. He's probably number one at 135. Then I'll give it to Tank, and then Loma, and then Keyshawn. Keyshawn just got to that dance right there. But I when I first came here, I heard you were saying I thought it was you 2 cents. You said something about Tank versus Rolly fighting again. Did I miss something? Did you say that?
No, I never said that. I wasn't even
Oh,
talking
you
about
didn't
that.
say that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, who was you talking about Rolly fighting in a rematch or something like that?
I haven't talked about Rolly today.
Oh wow. Oh well, I guess I just misheard the whole thing though. Well,
Yeah, I
salute to
didn't.
everybody on the panel. I missed most of the show and everything.
Flying them phones
Salute to everybody in the chat.
All right, Frequent Fly, thank you for coming up. Give me your 2 cents. Mr. Shelton, you back? Going once, going twice? Mr. Shelton must be on the phone or something.
That nigga
Phoenix the
sleep.
Assassin, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah, I'll say that people ain't looking at rankings the right way. You can't talk about accolades when you're talking about a weight class because what a person did a different weight class don't always translate. And you can see that with a lot of fighters. It is different. When you got Shakur, you can't take away what he did at 126 and 130. But at the same time, you got to be honest about it. He's not doing that at 135. So when you're looking at who he's fought at 135 compared to who other people have fought at 135, that's what you got to rank him on. How they look against the people they fighting at that weight class. We can't just throw that out and say, nah, we're going to go ahead and look at what he did at 126 to 130 to evaluate what he did at 135, even though we've been seeing him at 135 for 2 years and seeing what he's done. It don't make any sense. That's like saying because, somebody was a bus driver in the past, we're going to use that to go ahead and evaluate them if they want to get their pilot license. It don't make sense. You got to look at what they're doing currently. So that's the way I'm looking at it. And when you break it down like that, it's hard to argue against Tank and Lomachenko being number 1 and 2, even though Lomachenko's been inactive, right? So that's the way that I'm looking at it. And, Shakur, he's showing that he in his feelings because obviously he feels some way about them rankings. And he get real emotional. So maybe that's going to be Zepeda's angle at him when they fight. Make Shakur emotional, make him feel insecure. Maybe that get him off his game. But without that and without cutting off the ring, it's going to be a typical Shakur fight.
All right. Good job, Phoenix the Assassin. Great breakdown. Thank you for stopping by the show and coming on the panel and giving your
Yeah,
2
for sure.
cents. All right. Mr. Greg, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Sometimes who you lose to can be a notable fight as well. I don't know why people don't see that. You don't win every time, but depending on how you fought, how you lost, how you looked. Keep in mind, I'm gonna reference an old fight again. When Ray first lost to Duran. That was a notable fight that actually made him because people realize now he could really fight. He wasn't a media creation. Just using that example. So sometimes, even though you lose, that could still very well be a notable fight that is good for your resume because going forward, how did you look after that fight? And did you fight the second fight or the rematch? we're coming up with Tank and Lamont Roach. For some reason, I'm starting to get a little Simon Brown, Vincent Petway vibe. Now, I don't know if y'all saw that fight before or you go back and see that fight, but Simon got knocked out so badly that while he was on the canvas knocked out, he was still throwing punches. So if you ever see that fight, I would say watch it just to get an idea, because if Tank does something anywhere like that, there will be no more talking about hating on Tank. Now watch that fight though, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I want to say I enjoyed seeing that you're getting started with your 4th show. Hopefully next Friday it'll be, more of y'all on, Barbara D. And I never heard that the young lady who was on here earlier. Where's her name?
Ashley's Corner.
Ashley's Corner. She has Ashley's Corner. I'm sorry. She has a website podcast as well.
Yeah, she has a channel too. I wish she would have put a link in the chat, because she absolutely has a channel too. If you listen to the replay, I'm gonna try to put her link in the description if y'all want to go sub up to her channel.
I'll look for that too. But I think it was very refreshing to keep seeing the kind of changes. I hope guys, when they start talking about fight, they learn something from the first part of the show, how y'all were conducting yourselves and getting yourself, you can still get your points crossed. You ain't got to talk at each other and all that other kind of stuff. But those 2 fights are going to be, in my opinion, a lot more interesting than I think any of us are predicting. Again, the rematch as well as Zepeda and Shakur. I'm not sure how that fight will go now. That's just a feeling I got, but I certainly.
For the Shakur Zepeda fight?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
How did you think it was gonna go before?
I thought that basically that Shakur was going to win by decision, that he was going to move around, he was going to do what I have seen him do. Now I'm not sure if he's even going to be effective at that. I could be wrong, but it's just a feeling I got. Just a feeling. But
Okay.
You talking to me?
No, my bad. I meant to mute.
Oh, okay. But definitely that fight that I referenced, watch that fight. That fight was like, to this day, I've seen nobody fight like that. And Simon Brown was a great middleweight at the time. But watch that fight. And also, now that I'm thinking about it, because you got Keyshawn and who is it? Shakur, who don't want to fight each other because they friends. Is that the 2?
Keyshawn and Shakur, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Simon Brown and Maurice Barker were roommates and fought each other. And they really went to war in that ring because they said it's business. I think somewhere down the line, those 2 will have to come to that same kind of conclusion if they want to stay in this game and try to make something of themselves and make a name. But definitely watch that Simon Brown, Vincent Petway. You're like, wow. Overall, I'm going to come onto your show if I can remember, Ty. Even though I'll be out, I'll still try to come in and check your show out, because I'm happy to know that you have a show too. And by the way, do you allow Hacker to come on?
No.
Yeah. Hacker fine. He just ain't. Oh, you talking about Jab Queen Boxing? Bub wants y'all to see his new shirt and his new shoes he got.
Okay.
See, look. I told Rollo I wasn't playing. What that price say?
All right. Shout out to
What that price say? I told Rollo quit playing with me, boy.
All right, Rollo. He's playing, man. On you. All right, Bubs. That's enough of that. All right.
Really.
All right, Mr. Greg. Thank you for coming up.
I enjoyed the show, and I'll see
Mr. Greg, I wanted to ask you one more question real quick, because historically, how like fighters going up 2-3 weight classes, for the most part, are those fights, do they usually go to the bigger guy? Is it like a rare occasion where the smaller guy will win?
The bigger guy usually wins. You could have a big good guy and a great little guy. Usually the big good guy still wins because size still does matter. Little guys, unless they are extraordinary, and can take a punch, can avoid a lot of the punches and win on points. I've never seen a little guy knock out the big guy during the course of a fight. professionally. I haven't seen it. Now there could be somebody who's seen something that I haven't seen before, but I haven't. But normally, I mean, it's just a matter of it's a matter of size. So if you're a little guy that has extraordinary power, yeah, it could happen. But I don't see. So I see sometimes when people talk about Tank going up and beating bigger guys. That's nice to say. That's good to have
Right.
that delayed. But when it does actually see it happen, and a lot of times, good boxing commissions, if they got ethical people, won't even let the fight happen. Case in point, he wasn't so much bigger, but when Mugia was first starting out, he was supposed to fight Triple G, and the commission said, no, that's not going to happen. They stopped it. And I don't know whether
Where was
Golden
Mungia coming from?
Mugia was coming up from 154. He was at 154. He was with
And
Golden Boy,
they
and
would
to
let him
me,
fight Canelo at 168?
no, they wouldn't let him fight Triple G at 160. That's what I'm saying.
That
He
sounds
still,
fishy.
yeah, they wouldn't let him fight him though. They was going basically to me. They was feeding to Triple G Mugia. Mugia would had no business at that point in his career fighting Triple G. Nobody really even knew him at that point. So sometimes you look at a guy coming in and you realize they know better than doing this, and somebody actually do the ethical thing, and that was to me the ethical thing at that time. Now, if it had been a few years later, it might have been okay, but at that time, Triple G was destroying everybody. He didn't stop knocking people out until he finally fought Canelo. But at that
Right.
point, everybody thought they could get in the ring with Triple G, and found that who he got in the ring with, I should say, and found that they should not have been there. So
Yeah.
that's boxing for you, and you don't see a lot of those kinds of challenges anymore because guys don't want to get hurt. They
Yeah.
want to still have all their senses when they finally get out this game and commentate and get a podcast and maybe do some movies. They want to have all their faculties. So I understand that. So this is what today's fighters are. So I can compare them. I can say I wish we see that. I just reference a few fights, but we're not going to see those kind of fights on a regular. Once in a
I
while
don't
we
think
might
people
get.
really interested in them because, like you said, the bigger guy usually wins. So I don't think people really like those type of fights like that. I mean, of course, people think Bud is this great exceptional talent. So maybe the Bud and Canelo fight is not that far of a reach, but it's just like he coming from 35. He going all the way up. The guy's he really ain't never even really been hurt for real. He's fought even bigger guys at 75. So it's just like it's gonna be a tough challenge. If Bud could pull it off, that'll be great. But
It'll be great. And as I told you, I haven't made a prediction yet, but it's so much that Bud will have to be prepared to do. Because I can say you're coming up from 147 to fight somebody who's gone up to 175 and fought a very good fighter at 175 and lost on a decision. But at 168, nobody beats him. Nobody has beat him. And I don't think, I like Bud, I'm a Bud fan, but I also try to be realistic about there's a path, I think, for him to win. But I mean, you got to stay on that path all 12 rounds. You're going to have to roll with a whole bunch of power shots from Triple G and not get badly hurt. You're going to have to be able to trade from time to time. Canelo will get one punch, and I think you're going to have to match his punch with 3. This is how I'm seeing it right now. And I don't think you hit Canelo 3 times straight. Triple G didn't even do that. And
that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good analysis.
So you have to be able to do that, and you have to be able to move. And what people have to understand, Canelo can move. He's footed a little bit, but he can move out the way. And in order to beat Canelo, if you really want to beat Canelo, the blueprint really was Bivol, but Bivol paid a price for that as well. And Bivol was bigger. Bivol was pieced up a little bit when you saw him after the fight. He was bruised up, and he said he was bruised up and hurt a little bit. from beating a guy who's supposed to be smaller than him. But he was fighting a guy who was just as strong and could punch and would step in and would sit down on his punches. Now, will Bud do that? And can Bud take the punches? The question it's the biggest question there. Can Bud take Canelo's punches? Can he sit down on his punches and get enough in and not get hurt by any of Canelo's punches or any of Canelo's consistent punches? That's the question. And putting on the weight really doesn't answer that. That's my feeling about that. So, but again, if the fight even happens now, because we don't hear heard they sell it, so it's so convoluted. And I had read that it was supposed to be the first fight that Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White were supposed to be promoting together. And now I see they done fell out already, which is not surprising either. So all of this goes to show you how somebody who's supposed, and it's been tried a few times before, how somebody will come in and try to dominate and take over boxing can fail. There's too many working parts. There's too many things you need to be able to do very well to do that, and particularly with boxing. So let's see how the next 18 months of this goes. I don't see it. I'm glad that fighters are getting the payday. That I am. I'm glad Turkey's.
But at what cost, Mr. Greg? At what cost?
It's a big cost because you're not. I don't think you're moving forward as a fighter. Your bank account might be a little bit bigger, and your people are supposed to get you money. So that can come into conflict, and as it does, business and the sport always have a conflict at that point. But your people are supposed to get your bag. And the fans are the ones who don't always get what they pay for. The fans are the ones who sometimes are disappointed, which is why fans act the way. One of the reasons why fans act the way they do. They're never satisfied because you're not constantly feeding them with satisfactory fights constantly. Those days where you could get fights every week and you can see fighters develop and you can see some of the things that you believe fighters should be able to do and should feel and act. Those days are not here like they used to. And we'll have to accept that part too. That's why you always will hear me at least reference a lot of old fights, because I know that mentality. Even with the little bit of time, I didn't fight professionally, but the little bit of time that I did so as an amateur, the attitude was there. The belief was there. Sometimes you had to find out you weren't as good as you think you are, but you did dare to find out. I mean, I thought I was everything. I thought I was Ray Robinson. That was my idol. That's who I tried to emulate. But unfortunately, I didn't have that kind of talent. I did okay. I only lost one time, and that was a decision. But I wanted to do too many other things. So you got to dedicate yourself completely to boxing. You have to give everything to it and hope you come back. And by the way, how well did your sons do on their last fight that you had to go to?
It was just one of them. He lost the fight. It was his third fight.
Okay, so he's still doing the 3-rounders.
Yeah. 1 minute, 3-rounders.
Right. Okay. I mean, those are the fights where you learn though, and see if you're willing to learn. And sometimes you learn by taking a loss. You learn, and you also realize you learn whether I want to keep doing this as well. And that's long before you start trying to see if you can make some money.
So for sure. But they enjoy it. They know it's a learning curve.
And that's the thing. It's so much you could get from boxing at that stage. The discipline, you learn some things about taking care of yourself. You learn some things about yourself. And that's the most important thing. You learn what's inside of you, if nothing else. And I think that's good, particularly for male children. When they're coming up, you need to really know. The more you know about yourself when you're young and you're developing just as a person, going into teenage years, manhood, the better off you tend to be once you got to go out on your own, because you have that kind of confidence. You know what you're willing to do. You know where some of your limitations are. And unfortunately, a lot of times these young guys don't have that kind of guidance. And I respect to you and your husband for actually doing that and letting them, grow in that manner, put them in something constructive. That's a good thing. And a lot of times young guys aren't getting that as much as say during my era when I
Yeah.
was growing up. But
Yep.
so
All right, Mr. Greg. Thank you for coming up
okay, when I
and
will
giving your 2 cents for the show.
and Ty, I will try to make sure I come on your show tomorrow.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, dear.
All right, shout out Mr. Greg. Shout out Mr. Greg for his words of wisdom up on the panel. Jab Queen Boxing, great show today. What's your final 2 cents? What do you got for the show?
I mean, the beginning was great. After a while, it went back to the same. No, I mean, Mr. Greg actually made me think of a lot of really good points, right? So we always discuss like Bud's weight and everything like that, but what about also? I mean, his age. They're roughly around the same age, but the fact that Bud hasn't fought since Madrimov, wasn't that last year or something like that? So
Yeah,
ring rust
it's
is
been a
still a
year.
thing. Yeah, ring rust is still a thing on top of the extra weight that he's putting on. I don't really see a path to victory for him. I'm not going to completely count him out because this is boxing and anything can happen. I'm just saying he has a really uphill battle to climb when going in there with someone who has never been knocked out, and probably hits a lot harder than what he's used to. So, there's that.
That's the only thing I don't hear people discussing. What about Canelo's power? I never hear people mention it.
Yeah, and I've said too, his footwork in the last fight didn't look that great, but listen, it's still Canelo at the end of the day, and I think that's what a lot of people are overlooking. So if that fight ever happens, we shall see. As far as the card on July 12th with Zepeda and Shakur, I'm not sure why people are saying weird things like Shakur's going to knock him out. The verbiage that's used confuses people, and by people I mean me. Let's say words like outpoint him or things like that, because Shakur hasn't knocked anyone out. So you know what I mean. I'm not really sure how he's gonna win this fight. He's gonna have to give to get, and we all know he doesn't really like taking a lot of punishments, if any. He looks like he may be a little mushy in that midsection. So if Zepeda starts. But unfortunately, this is his crossover test or his push-through test. He is going to have to win and win in impressive fashion if he wants to even consider fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, because as of right now, and I know Frequent loves to tout his accolades, but those accolades are not going to get you a Gervonta Tank Davis fight. You are not fighting opponents on the level that would qualify you for such a mega fight. And let's be honest, that is a mega fight. With all of Shakur's accolades that they love to tote around, he still is not as big of a star as Gervonta Tank Davis. And those are just the facts. It's not me hating, it's just me being honest. When you win in impressive fashion, you don't need the trinkets, baby. You are the trinket. So I don't know. I am going to closely watch that fight to see how he does. I don't have a dog in the Edgar Berlanga fight and the Shiraz. I'll just be watching to watch. I'm excited to see David Morrell back in the ring. Boy, see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. I mean, we've discussed what we know so far. What we know is that Canelo fight versus Bud has been canceled. With, I guess, another announcement to come on where it will be, if it will be. So I guess we can just continue to wait and watch for that. This July, 12th card is shaping up very kindly. I don't know if maybe next week or maybe on your Sunday show, the next card coming up is Charlo. So maybe we can kind of go over that next or Sunday if you want. We can go over Charlo and Caleb Plant. That's the next card, and then after that, I believe we have Keyshawn. So, but outside of that, I'm just excited and I'm eager to see if Shakur passes this Zepeda test.
Yeah, it's gonna be a highly anticipated fight. We're gonna keep talking about it.
Definitely. And sometimes your accolades aren't as important as the competition that you fight. Because we all know some of those rankings are bought and paid for. People get shuffled around on them all the time. And I'm pretty sure that some guys over the top 10 will whoop the head of some of the guys below them just for the opportunity. So you can't really say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's all I got. And I will see you Sunday, girly.
Shout out to Jab Queen Boxing. Thank you, like always, for coming up on the panel and giving your 2 cents. Jason Williams say, how many boxing historians talk about fighters' pay-per-view numbers or their stardom? Those trinkets matter. Of course they matter. And the whole pay-per-view thing and money and all of that, that was kind of really ushered in by Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Money May. Him and Al Heyman came in and changed the game, start getting these fighters way more money. And that's when it really, and if you think about it though, fighters made a lot of money back in the day too. So maybe if you account for inflation and do all that, fighters might have got paid a lot back then too. We'll have to look into that and do that research real quick. But shout out to Jab Queen Boxing and Ashley's Corner holding it down today for the all women's panel. Shout out to everybody that called into the show today. Big shout out to everybody that supported the channel today through the Cash App or through the Super Chats. And of course, all of those that supported the channel by listening. Hey, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. I ain't even tell you how to punch the like and subscribe button. I just got into the show. Be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Definitely should have 100 likes before I get off the live today. Punch that like button. Punch that subscribe button. If you're listening to the replay, let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. Shakur Stevenson, Williams Zepeda, big fight coming up. And we just promoting the fight over here. We talking about the fight. We promoting the fight. We giving our opinions about the fight. We not tearing down no fighters because we have our opinions about the fight and what we think might happen. Just boxing analysis and our straight opinions. We talked about the Terrence Crawford Canelo fight, which I think is an interesting fight. It's always interesting to talk about. But is the fight even happening? When is the fight happening? Where is the fight happening? Questions. I remember when Gervonta Tank Davis had a venue issue, and I mean, that was a really big deal. So I'm just a little shocked that this whole, no location, no all of that. Like, it's quiet in the YouTube streets about it. It's quiet in the YouTube streets about it. But as you know, I'm going to keep my ear to the streets and always let you know my 2 cents about what's going on. Be sure to join me again Sunday for the next show, the wrap-up show. And you'll notice we'll talk about these same things on a couple different shows because, different people listen to different shows, and I want everybody to be able to get their 2 cents in. This is a platform for us to talk about current events, things we hear in these YouTube streets, and give our opinion about things. I'm not a breaking news channel. I'm not a perfect channel. I give my opinions about things, even if I have a strong opinion about something, but I'm open to hearing other people's opinions. It's not necessarily no right or wrong answers over here. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So I just want to get it clear exactly what this platform is. I'm not right all the time. I'm not trying to be right all the time. I don't got no sources and all of that. Like I'm not none of that. I'm here to provide a platform where everybody can come, whether they agree, disagree, and we can all chit chat together. As you can see, it's a lot of fun when we're able to do that. I know sometimes the panels get a little heated. We start talking over each other, but it'd be like that sometimes. Join me again Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. I will be back putting on the show. Listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, timing you out, kicking you out the panel, putting you in the background, muting you on the panel, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.